Welcome to the 4205 cast. The Kings are coming at you live, but you'll hear us on tape delay. Today I've got with me these guys.
Theo.
Chris.
And Joe.
And I'm Andre. And oh man, I'm having some internet connection issues right now.
You seem fine.
Really?
Okay, good.
Turn off the engine.
No, it's off. It's off. I swear.
All right.
I swear. It was on the entire time before, and I didn't have any issues. As soon as I turned, I should turn it on, and that's gonna fix.
I don't think so.
No.
Let me just turn it on right now.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
Joe.
All right.
Joe, I love when you point off screen to let us know that it's good to go.
What? I point off screen?
No. I was like, are we good?
That's way. Huh? I'm just like. Should I point at the camera next time? My camera's at my 1 o'clock, so.
All right.
Yeah, if you point at your camera, we definitely know. Be like,
yeah, like that. I'll put the. That's gross. Oh God, guys.
Why?
Fingers.
What's wrong with that?
what's wrong with fingers?
What's wrong
Theo,
with
you
fingers?
have fingers also.
Yeah, show us your fingers, Theo.
They do things, theoretically. I'm alive.
Yes, function.
Okay,
Yeah, like, look, hey, the last I checked, that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
You know, still here, still kicking.
Yep.
You know, went to a comic store today. That was nice.
Wait.
You went
Really?
to a comic store?
I did.
It wasn't Midtown, was it? I know. I had to ask, okay? Just making sure.
Fuck out of here.
Listen, okay?
No, I went
This whole shit has
to.
done crazy shit to us. I had to make sure you didn't lose your mind.
No, I haven't gone that crazy.
Okay.
No, I didn't realize that Jim Hanley's universe had moved, and I saw
again.
Yeah, they're on. They're closer to Baby Bo's, which is why I found them.
Yeah, they're on Third.
They're on Third Avenue now. Yeah, I had brunch with my mother and Claire, and then after 3 frozen margaritas and delicious brunch
At Baby Bo's?
at Baby Bo's, we walked over
3 margaritas each, or just
each.
okay?
I mean, you know how I roll.
I can
That's
go
how it
to
works
sleep
at
like that
brunch.
right now, honestly. We should do this podcast drunk one day.
I don't know. Theo's done it drunk at least
I
once.
don't know what you guys are talking about.
I have never been drunk, so that is not going to happen.
For the podcast, period.
Period.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never been drunk, and I will never be drunk.
See, that's a little Easter egg. If any of our viewers can figure it out, I will
What?
gift them a Steam game. Which episode Theo recorded Little Drunky?
Might have been for the podcast.
Oh, all right, we're putting that one out there.
Yeah, I'll put that out there.
All right. Free game to anybody
Yeah.
who can identify which episode Theo was drunk in.
Yeah.
Can you do it,
That's over-
Tris?
that's
Do you know
over.
which episode it was?
Nope,
It's over 200 videos.
I don't remember. I know it happened. I just don't remember
It
what
all
it
blends
was.
together. This is episode 191. We're getting closer to episode.
I thought it was
200.
192.
Well, it's
It
190.
is 192. Is it 192?
191.
I don't know anymore.
It's so much. It's so much.
We've been doing this too long. We're all slowly losing our minds.
Right? But
Yeah.
the point is, it's getting closer to that time. You guys got a shout out for 200.
Absolutely. So, yeah. And maybe that'll be, maybe if you guys figure it out by episode 200, we'll announce the winner during the episode.
Okay, so there you go. You said a cutoff
Look at
point.
that.
Good. Smart.
Unfortunately, that cutoff point doesn't necessarily have a date because sometimes we're bi-weekly and sometimes we're weekly. But whatever,
Right.
we'll figure it out.
I think it appears we have currently shifted to a bi-weekly schedule at the moment, which is fine. Because, people got school and shit, so myself included.
We're just 3 of us is actually in school right
Yes,
now.
3 of
Weekly.
us are doing school stuff.
Yeah, one happens to be working there.
Yeah.
The other 2 are actually going.
He's still in it.
That's
Still
right.
counts, I guess.
Yeah.
He's remoting.
I was remoting on site for like a month. It was dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds dumb.
Yeah, it is.
It sounds exceptionally stupid, I have to say.
It was freaking stupid. And the teachers are still doing it too.
Fun.
It's really bizarre watching them do remote stuff with their masks on.
So I won't even get into that. So
How does that sound?
Not
some
good.
students are coming on campus. Well, some students are coming in the building.
Yes.
Oh, and then okay, got it. So how do they teach? Do they Like, do they teach for the students in the classroom or for the camera?
I didn't actually get to see the blended learning thing before I
wanna
was
see
going.
that so
I
badly.
mean, there were.
I imagine the
really-
grades are staggered
I
as far as attendance
I
goes.
really need to meet up with my old coworkers and ask them what's going on.
What's going on? Yeah.
I really need to do that.
And are you okay? Don't burn the school down, etc. Things like that.
They've already
Nah, I
forgotten.
don't know about
They've
that
already
last part.
forgotten. Actually, that's not true. One of them sent me a text message just asking me how I was, and I'm like,
See?
"You don't need
Mister-
anything? Yeah?
Aw,
You're not texting me because you need something?"
no, it's not like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I was actually taken aback a little bit.
Chris, I want to ask you from earlier, how are they handling comics in comic book stores now?
With gloves.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like,
With
I mean,
gloves.
it depends on which ones you're going to.
Yeah, because
You
if
know,
you put on sanitizer, your hands gonna be a little moist while touching
Yeah.
the comic. So
well, you know, a lot of stores like Bulletproof, I know, just automatically puts their stuff in bags and boards.
Mhm.
Like it prevents, excessive browsing, and obviously protects the books. So when you're purchasing them, you don't have to worry about it, and you get a free bag and board when you purchase, which is good. So I mean, some stores are doing that. Hanley's didn't have that, so I don't know. I imagine they're just being as careful as they can.
Oh, okay.
They usually in most retail stores that I've been in, there's a sign up that says "Don't touch it unless you really want to buy it, please." So like they're trying to discourage lengthy browsing.
Like, what happened if I really want to buy it, but then I really don't afterwards?
Well, I'm pretty sure, like no one's gonna kick you out of the store for picking a thing up and putting it back. I imagine.
Okay. All right.
But like, it's one of those things where just like societally, you got to trust someone and everybody to have fucking hand sanitizer on them.
Yeah. I guess I never thought about, like, when you mentioned going to a comic store, I was like, oh shit, how's that going to work? Because, you browse through comics.
Yeah, I mean, you're flipping through. I picked up Shang-Chi #1 today, written by Jin Luen Yang, who is
Get ready
incredible.
for the movie.
Absolutely, and he's doing a miniseries. Got a Jim Chung cover on there, so it's fucking beautiful.
Mhm.
I know that's Joe's boy right there, Mr. Young Avengers himself, Jim
Yeah,
Chung.
I love that art.
Yep. So yeah, it was it honestly it felt nice. It felt really good. Felt like home. Every time I walk to a comic store, it's like, oh, thank God. You know?
The people working there are suffering.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I
More
think
to the point, how they're suffering.
Exactly. I get it. I get it, and I don't envy their job any more right now. So yeah. I mean, I guess I'll shift into what I'm playing. Should I shift into that?
No, we should not.
Should not?
No, we have an email, so we're going to read that.
Shit, son.
Wow.
Let's hear it.
Letters. We get letters.
I actually have my lights on today.
We get sacks and sacks of letters.
That was a Letterman song, wasn't
It
it?
was, yes.
Yeah. All right. So we have email from Jelani. Says, longtime listener, first time writer.
Hey.
He's listening to our latest episode where we were discussing Genshin.
Uh-huh.
Wanted to say a few words on it since he's been playing it as well.
Cool.
Okay.
Been playing it on the PS4 and is really surprised as to how good the game is for being a free-to-play game. He's familiar with the company MiHoYo, who makes it because he played their mobile game, which was called Honkai Impact 3rd.
Right. Yes.
I just found out about that a few days ago.
Same here.
Which is also an action RPG with a very high production value, similar to Genshin. He just hit Adventurer rank 30. I'm on 33 right now, so I'm about there too.
Nice.
And one other thing that is always on his mind is that the game is way better than it has any right to be, considering that it's free.
Yeah.
I mean, they had like $100 million budget, and they made all of that back in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That seems to be the general consensus with the game.
It's like make something people want to spend money on. Imagine that.
What a crazy concept.
Even with the gacha elements, you can build a decent enough team without spending money, which is relatively true. But you will get to the point where
There's always a wall. There's always a wall.
And that's the problem with it.
It is that wall, like, something that most people won't get to, or is this a basic progress wall?
I feel like most people playing the game, if they're playing it like super casually, they're just gonna hop on every once in a while, play the game, do their like daily quests, and then move on. It can last a long time, but if you are going hardcore, you might just burn out when you hit that wall.
Okay.
Because it's kind of hard, and if you're thinking about it and you're trying to bust it, it hurts.
They're gonna get you.
If you don't, then you're probably okay.
Well, the thing is,
if you don't care to have to bust it, you don't.
Is it a $60 wall or an infinity dollars wall?
You see, the thing is, though, I don't mind that because it wasn't $60.
Yeah.
So
I'm just comparing it to like.
No, I get what you mean.
Like the current standard for new releases.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have not reached the wall yet, but I do have to include a little bit more grinding in my gameplay to advance. But a lot of the people at where I'm at, they don't have any more quests. They're running out of things to do, and I'm not at that point. I still have quests. So when I feel like I've done most of my exploration and everything I need to do, I have things that I can fall back on, and it's not going to wreck me. Because I was already aware that there will be a wall, so I was trying to not do my quests as much as possible.
Get up there. Is there an ending to this game?
Well, I mean, it's going to continue to be expanded upon. So
okay.
It's a region thing, right? You're just gonna go to the next region or whatever.
Yeah, there's 2 regions in the game, and your main character can get like the powers from the regions. And there's 7 elements in the game, so you expect that there will probably be 5 more regions.
Mm-hmm.
Magic number 7.
The main team right now is the main character, Xiangling, Fischl, and Chi-Chi. Even though it borrows heavily from Breath of the Wild, which is general exploration of the game, is kind of derivative. But I don't really find that as a bad thing. And you can climb in the rain.
Ooh.
So it's better than
shots fired.
It's better. Fuck.
You know what? They'll fix
it's more
that if they put clothing for it.
It's
in the
more
next one.
convenient, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's better. Because when it rains in Breath of the Wild, it forces you to be like, I got to figure out a different way to
get out. Yeah,
it's climb over,
which is always good because it takes away your simplest and most effective tool.
Yeah.
For a limited amount of time. The elemental system makes battles fun enough to keep playing. Yep, it's true. The soundtrack is really good, and he says his favorite track here is Symphony of the Boreal Wind. The music in this game is phenomenal.
I have heard that
one with the Chinese sounding region.
No.
Okay.
This one is a boss fight. I'm not going to actually say what it is because it's kind of slightly spoilery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been listening to the soundtrack and it's just fun, like amazing.
Yeah, I've only heard good things about it. I mean, the production value of this game is nuts.
The loops are too short, though. It's probably my only issue with it. With
the exception of the Liyue battle theme, which is like a 2-minute plus before it loops, which is great. It's just a deep song that just keeps getting deeper. If they're good with updating the game, I'll probably keep playing. Yeah, I mean, there's no better way to break the wall than to have an update that lets you go someplace else.
Yeah.
It's currently placing FF14 as my go-to game to play for an hour or two after coming home from work. Long since replaced it for me because FF14 has long since been replaced. But they had a pretty meaty update recently, and I don't know if I'm going to really invest the time in, but I did download it.
Is that the Red Chocobo update?
The Red Chocobo update?
I haven't been keeping up with my Final Fantasy 14 as much as I had liked, but I have heard some Red Chocobo stuff, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Okay.
Anyway, just wanted to share my thoughts and to let you all know I'm a huge fan. Take care. Oh. Thank you, Jelani. We appreciate your email.
We appreciate that email.
Yes.
Absolutely, man. Much appreciated.
Awesome. Clearly a huge fan of Genshin Impact and not us.
Just said he was a big fan.
Yeah.
He's also the current guild leader of the 4205 guild in Final Fantasy 14 because I have been inactive for a very long time.
Plus, those two things are mutually exclusive, so it's fine.
Right.
Facts.
All right, so thank you for that.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
great,
guess
that gives us an excuse to talk about Genshin Impact.
right, which is what I've been playing for essentially the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, which is what's supplanting Andre's what you're playing segment. So
Dre,
I guess we should go to you.
You haven't touched the mobile version yet, right?
No, I'm not downloading it.
It is actually very impressive how 1-to-1 it is to the PC version.
Listen, I'm not surprised, but
It is
the thing
crazy.
is, I treasure my phone battery a lot.
That's fair. I get it.
And I'm not where I can avoid it. Like every once in a while, I might be, like I have Downwell on my phone because it was like how much power could Downwell use?
All of it.
But like there's several games that I own that I'm just like I'm not going to actually put this on my like I own Tactics on the phone, which is like not a terrible version of the game. It's actually really good. It's War of the Lions without the slowdown.
And they still won't bring that to PC?
It won't bring it to PC. I'm like, can you bring it to Switch? Could you bring it somewhere? Nope, I'm not going to do it.
God damn it.
I don't want to play it because it's on my phone and I don't want to mess up my battery.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I pay $1,000. I don't amortize my phones. Like I pay $1,000 for the phone when it comes out. Like I'm not going to kill the battery.
Yeah. No, but I actually just tried it just to see how it is like to the PC version. It's almost 1-to-1. I mean, obviously it's downgraded, but the moment you stop playing the PC version, it picks up from the with the mobile one.
It'll kick you off the PC version if you log in with the mobile one.
It's crazy.
It's just like, yep, this is where you are.
It's very impressive. I don't see me playing that because I don't like playing games on my phone. But
me neither, which is what worries me about this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot more games are going to go over to the mobile platform, which I hate the controls for.
Well, if they do it like Genshin, where they're like, "Hey, here's a PC version, here's a mobile version," I don't see the issue with that. I think that's pretty
fine, but that only works if they're making other versions of things. If it's only going,
I think Joe's worried if it only becomes a mobile thing.
Right. Eventually, it's going to be like that. And please,
it's not like
it's not going to be like that.
Please,
you're not going to let your PC gaming, Joe. Relax.
They're not going to put the newest Breath of Fire on a mobile game on a mobile phone. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry. Breath of Fire 6 will come out on PC any day now.
See, that's not the kind of stuff I'm worried about because that's just garbage mobile shit with a name some people will recognize.
Right. Well, you have to consider, companies that want to make games, and sometimes those companies are releasing things like Lost Planet instead of good games, and they need to do desperate things, as opposed to this company who have never made a console game, have made mobile games before, and decided we're going to take this onto console and PC and also have it on mobile and be the same experience on all of them.
Maybe I am looking at this in the wrong direction. Maybe instead of thinking that this is going to be like, quality PC and other platform games being shifted onto mobile, maybe this means more quality mobile stuff will go over to other platforms. Maybe that's what I should be thinking.
Because we like to slam mobile a lot on this, but
we're old.
There's got to be good mobile games out there. Like, there's no way that there isn't good mobile games out there. But I've never played them because I don't play mobile games.
I don't like it when like controller things are meant to be emulated. Not emulated might be a bad word, but like
I get it's the overlay.
The mimicking of a joypad on a phone screen is obnoxious.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
I will never be able to play that properly ever.
It works well for tactics games because you can just have to tap the tile.
Yes.
You're good to go.
But sure shit can't play Street Fighter on it. Not well, at least.
I mean, no. You don't want to.
Right.
Look, if people can play PUBG on mobile, I'm sure they can figure out how to play Street Fighter on mobile.
I mean, I'm sure someone could play it with their fucking tongue, and I don't doubt it. But
look, if there's somebody who plays Street Fighter with his fucking tongue right now,
shout out to fucking Brawly Legs because he's the best. All right,
and he could do it on a controller. I don't see why we can't do it on a phone.
Brawly Legs doesn't have much choice in the matter.
Yeah,
right.
So that is true.
And but we do.
And
so
I'm not
just
willing
saying.
to overcome 40 years of muscle memory at 40 years old.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Freaking old man, I swear to God.
This old man yells at Cloud.
Anyway, Genshin has been really great to me recently. So.
Oh yeah, oh, got some good drops.
You got a Venti, huh?
Yeah, I have Venti. I have
How much?
Venti. I have
Ventis?
Kiki. I have Jean. I actually have 2 Ventis.
Oh, you got to feed that shit into the other
man,
Venti.
now I
Huh?
want.
You
guys are making
Venti
me want.
Grande?
You guys are making me want a Starbucks drink, right?
I know you do.
Sorry, but Starbucks is garbage.
Starbucks has some good stuff.
Their
Their
lemon
refreshers
cake
are
is
nice.
really good.
The refreshers are great.
The
Refreshers
best
are
thing
great?
about Venti duplicate, well, any character duplicate in this game is that it powers up the character.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's 6 unlockables that each character can get that just keep making them stronger as you get duplicates, so they're not wasted as in like they would be in other games. It also allows them to not have to adjust their gacha system for the fact that you already have a certain character, which I'm sure is less programming on the back end for them.
Yeah.
So Venti being a 5-star character, extremely hard to get, but he has a rate up banner right now, which means you can actually get him at a somewhat decent-ish rate for a 5-star character.
I'm sorry, Venti's a dude?
Yes, Venti is a dude.
This is the Green Archer, right?
Yes.
That's a dude?
Yes, Venti is a dude.
Wow, I've been watching too much anime for me not to know that Venti was a dude. That's crazy.
Anyway, his first power up changes his aim shot to shoot 3 arrows instead of 1 arrow. It's really great and busted, and he's probably like overall the best character in the game. So it just makes him that much better.
Nice.
So it was great to get it.
There's no way they nerf these characters, right?
Absolutely not, because it's one thing to say that, hey, we're gonna nerf the character, but it's another thing to say, hey, this random dude spent $2,000 trying to find Kaching or something like that, and we're gonna nerf her. Like,
yeah, that'd be bad.
I mean, there's no
and it's PvE, so it doesn't even matter.
There's no competitive element to this, right?
Yeah,
there's no
PvE.
competitive element.
There's no competitive element, which is, I think, a very intelligent decision.
Right. Gacha games, from my understanding, very rarely nerf characters. They'll just be like, hey, we might have to do a bug fix here or there, and if the bug fix leads to a nerf, they usually compensate it in some other way to try to make it fair to the fact that they took power away, because they don't want to take power away. They want people to feel like, if I spend money on this is what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
And they also want to make sure that they say, hey, when we release future characters, you can feel like pretty confident that they're not going to be nerfed randomly because they're too powerful. Mm-hmm. Hey, are you paying attention, by the way? Bloodstained, don't nerf PvE. Like, come on. Like,
oh, they did in Bloodstained? I didn't know that.
They nerfed several things in Bloodstained over the course of its time, and I'm just like, I don't understand why you're nerfing this weapon. Like, it's already weaker than every other weapon. Like, why are you nerfing it? Just because it's the Chris Agram?
Shouldn't have put it in the game in the first place.
Yeah, it's like, why did you even put the Chris Agram in the game? Like, you know what this is. Why? Make it a post-game item. That's all
it's relatively hard to get in the main game until like the end of the game anyway. It's not like you're getting the Chris Agram like halfway through the game that you do in Symphony.
Hey, it's wonderful when you get it in the randomizer, which I don't think they've actually fixed yet.
I would hold my breath on that.
They're going to nerf the weapons, but they're still going to leave key items soft locked behind an area you can't get to. Come on.
Woo.
Well,
I was enjoying the randomizer too until that shit started coming up.
That's what I have for now. Instead of going last, I decided to go first. Look at that. It's a whole new world.
Nice segue.
It was
shaking it up.
It was just a natural course of how things progressed. The email playing Genshin, and you're playing Genshin Impact.
Don't get used to this.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Aggressive pointing today.
I'll never do it again.
Really aggressive pointing today.
Okay, is that the bit for today?
Today is all about aggressive
point at the camera.
Aggressive pointing.
Yes.
All right.
I noticed you're not doing any aggressive pointing there, Chris and Andre.
What? I
aggressively pointed at the beginning of this video. I don't need to run it into the ground.
But you're not doing it now.
gosh, like you're like this close from killing it.
Oh, he's gonna kill it way before this podcast is over.
Oh,
It's already dead.
I'm already killing it, fellas. I'm already killing it.
Word.
Chris,
Okay, yes.
we'll do this in reverse order so that Theo can be the last person this time.
Trying to mitigate some of how long that's gonna go. So I didn't play a lot of new shit this
There's
week.
no real news. It might as well go long.
Yeah, that's fair. Red Solstice 2's beta was last week again. There's another beta for that. I think I've talked a little bit about that game.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's one of those games that's like made by one person.
Is
essentially. Yeah, it's like one or two. It's a
I didn't
or
know
if
that.
it's just like a small team.
Those
it's
tend
like
to
one
be
or two
really,
people.
really good.
Huh?
Some
Yeah.
of those games, a lot of them tend to be really, really good.
Space Beast is made by one person as well. So there's a lot of that going around.
We're back to that,
sometimes-
aren't we? Huh? Remember, like there used to be video games in the early days of video games. One person.
Yeah.
See, so I think I disagree because I feel like sometimes the creator get lost in his own vision. Like
That's
whenever I
fine.
think about it,
That's fine.
no, like you have something like Iconoclast, which I do not like that game, and it was made by one guy. And if he had another person to probably edit it down and be like, "Hey, bro, we could take this shit out," I think it would have been a stronger game.
Okay.
So I played a little bit of Red Solstice. Some more Among Us. Yeah, I played it the other night. That was fun. Played with a friend of mine's kid. So that was an experience.
You know what's
That's
really-
a good way to feel
You know
old.
what's really funny
Oh,
about
yeah.
Among Us is that all my friends are playing Among Us, but none of my friends are asking me to play Among Us.
Well, because they know you're a sneaky fuck
I'm
and
not
will
a
murder
sneaky
everybody.
fuck. I tell the truth all the time.
I think the problem is that Killer App went and just told everybody that you go too hard at deducing, and now nobody wants to play with you.
Go too hard in the paint. and
Well, I
Among
mean,
Us.
that's the thing. If you're too good at deducing, all that does is make you numero uno target in the beginning of the game.
Yes.
If you're not the imposter.
Yeah.
So if that's actually happened to me, I am the first target with Randall and the gang. Like they murder me immediately. Like, we gotta get Chris out of there because he knows the map. Like he has a better idea what's happening.
Yep.
His deduction's a little too good, so like I get fucking killed immediately. Unless I'm the imposter, and then I try, and I usually win.
Oh, he's the live. He's the imposter.
Although everybody has these funny tells
Mhm.
already, and like it hasn't changed, even though we only played like a handful of times, but like it's the same tells. Like Andrew has a tell, which is hilarious. Andrew waits till like the taskbar is halfway done before he starts murdering people every time, right? And then if he sabotages, he always sabotages oxygen every time, like every time without fail. So it's like the moment halfway oxygen, like okay, Andrew. Tim self-reports every time.
Classic self-report.
Every
In the
time.
words of
Right?
Claudio.
Like, every time we'll self-report. And we're like, Tim, we fucking
Come on.
know it was you.
You're the only person over here. Come on.
I hate self-reporting. I only self-reported once. It was a complete accident. It was like, it was like the most disastrous thing I've ever done.
Yeah, no, like,
I was trying to sabotage, and instead of sabotaging, I jumped in a vent. And
shit.
then I had to kill the person who I didn't
You
want to
saw
kill.
you.
And then I tried to get back in the vent to try to escape. And then I reported.
Oh.
And I'm like, I killed himself, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
This is exactly how real murders happen.
I love this
Listen,
game so
you just
much.
say where you found the body. That's all. Like, it's like, hey man, I found this body over here.
Yeah, and like, but the thing is, if you're busy ninjaing around the vents, it means you're not rolling with anybody. So they're like,
No,
yeah, but where
the
were you?
The problem.
Why were you in there?
The problem was that he was following me around because he was suspicious of me.
Shit.
And I'm like,
So
well, not only did I kill him, but I actually reported it.
I had one of the funniest like instances of just pure stupid luck, where like towards the end of the game, I think we were playing two imposters, and my other imposter already got airlocked, right? So it's like me and like 3 other people, and I'm like, okay, I gotta fucking figure out a way to do this. And I had I forget which map it was. It's the map where the greenhouse is up top. You know what I'm talking about, Joe?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, well,
It's the second map or whatever.
yeah, the
I don't
second
know
map,
what-
right? So I sabotaged up there, right? And I had already killed somebody on this run, like when they were checking engineering, and like I like go up there, and my buddy Danny's in there. It looks like we're both just going to fix the thing, and I'm like, okay, I think I got this, right? So he fixes the thing, and I murder. Actually, no, he didn't even fix the thing. He's about to fix the thing. I killed him too quickly by accident. I'm like, shit. So I fixed the thing, and I haven't reported the body yet. I fixed the thing first, right? And I'm like, okay. And I see two people come down that Y-shaped hallway, and like I guess once the crisis is over, they turned back because they saw me coming down from it, and they didn't go up there. And I was like, I just essentially got super lucky that nobody went up there. And I was like, oh my god, I'm actually pulled this off. And I like essentially followed them, and then I killed the last person, and I ended up winning.
Do they show who completes a task?
Sorta.
You like
No, but
if you see a person, if you see a person standing at a well, if it's an emergency task, right? You can complete it if you did the sabotage anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can actively fix your own sabotage to stave off suspicion. So sometimes it's beneficial to do that. Like, okay, I sabotage a thing. Usually it's a way to isolate someone, but most of the time it just makes things more suspicious in the first place. Like, or it's just like there's that room. There's always that room when you go into. You're like, I'm gonna fucking die. Like
the kill box.
Yeah, because you go to the reactor in the second map, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if like
electrical
you're
anywhere
dead.
is a death trap.
Electrical is always a fucking death trap. I'm an electrical, and I see like my buddy Z follow me, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Yep, there it is.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Like go and fix that shit. Dead. Like god damn it. The moment I see a task in electrical, I'm like, fuck. And sometimes I'll get like 3 tasks in electrical. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me with this bullshit.
I always go straight to electrical.
Yeah, because you want to get that shit done. Because you want to get that shit done, right? So you don't get murdered.
Right.
And pray to God that like you have somebody with you who's not the killer.
Even if I don't have a task, if I don't have a task, I'll go straight to electrical. Be like,
smart.
Someone's gonna die in here.
Someone's gonna die in here.
Exactly. And it's gonna be me. I can only hope that somebody else is coming to electrical and doing the same thing I am.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they're going to electrical.
Yeah.
You know that game
kill
is
you.
Kill me. Their task is murder.
Game is incredible. Like it really. That's one of those games that like absolutely deserves the reputation it's getting.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like it is not overhyped. It is fucking top tier nonsense, and I love it.
There have got to be other games like this too. You know that they have to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's called Mafia, Werewolf. They've existed for a long time.
And there's like there's was that the Spaceman game? What's the name of it?
Oh,
it's a free to play.
Come out a
little
afterwards? Oh,
yeah.
SCP Secret Laboratory.
No.
Okay.
That's one. Else. Let me look this up. I think it's called Unlucky Spaceman. Or some shit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm bringing up Steam now. I'll check it in a sec. But yeah, so
get ready for all of these to start popping up. By the way, all of these social deduction games where you actually have to physically kill people.
Bandwagon hoppers.
Unfortunate Spaceman. That's the name of it.
Unfortunate Spaceman.
Oh, I mean this was out. Like I think it came out somewhat recently.
Will this be a new genre?
Probably, yeah.
A new bandwagon genre.
No, but it already existed as a genre in video games. If you look up Town of Salem or Throne of Lies or social deduction games exist beforehand, but they weren't really mainstream. I think the only ones that really got traction were those two because they got picked up by a few popular streamers.
Like Werewolf and Mafia?
No, Werewolf and Mafia are like, they're not actual video games. So, Mafia is a video game, but not the social deduction game.
Yeah, this is social deduction. That's like a game you play with people. Mafia.
Yes,
like people in a room kind of deal. So yeah, so Among Us is great. I played Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon 2. I finally started playing.
Still haven't played the Symphony of Night one. That's crazy.
Really? You haven't?
Nope.
Really?
Well, I haven't. I'm terrified to update my PlayStation right now. So I'm not sure. I'm not playing anything on the PlayStation at the moment.
Okay.
You're gonna have to update it at some point, man.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I'll wait till they iron out some of the current bugs that are plaguing the recent update.
Okay.
When they iron out when the 8.1 patch comes out or whatever, I will download it. be fine.
All right.
But yeah, so that's the only reason I haven't played it yet. So I played that. It's pretty fun. It's I don't know if I like the characters as much as the previous one.
That dude with the gun is really good.
This time we know the
Yeah.
character still.
Hmm?
We know the characters a little bit more now.
Yeah.
Well, sort of, because only 2 of them.
Well,
That's true, yeah.
The guy with the gun. I just got the guy with the gun. He is really good.
yeah.
Like, he is super, super fantastic.
Imagine how useful it is to have a gun in a Castlevania game.
Yeah, that's why his life is shit.
See, that's why the dagger is always good.
Yeah.
It's the gun.
So
Otherwise, you have to throw the cross backwards.
Jump.
Yeah, or duck.
So played that. I booted up Smash Brothers once Minecraft Steve came out.
Oh, that happened already?
Oh yeah,
How is he?
that's a character.
Okay.
I have zero. I don't care. Like, it's just lost on me. The gameplay. He's very interesting because he has a lot of weird momentum. Like his it's like they managed to capture the feeling of a first-person character's momentum in Smash Brothers, and it's interesting in that way.
Have you ever touched Minecraft at all?
Never, not once.
Okay, I think I know exactly the momentum you're talking about.
Like, it's present and it's very it's fascinating, right?
Like he slides around.
He kind of slides around, and like he'll when he runs, like his run animation isn't different from his walk animation. It's just faster.
Yeah,
He's just moving faster, so it looks really weird. It's very visually odd. So he looks like even weirder and out of place than Game & Watch, which is kind of crazy. But I'm so used to Game & Watch being in there since Game & Watch has been there since fucking Melee. So like, you know, like I don't even.
And he's not pixels, so it's not even like crazy.
Yeah. So it's like it's interesting. I don't like the resource management involved in the character. Like, he's got some busted shit, apparently. I personally haven't discovered myself, but people are like, it's brand new character, so it's a lot of day one tech. A lot of people are like, oh, I think he's broken. I think he sucks. Like, there's a lot of, like, nobody has a coherent, like, there's no cohesive place for him yet because he's too new.
Resource management is saying like the same vein as Phoenix Wright from MC3?
It's not random.
Okay.
So it's better than that.
Yeah, you've got to dig up some dirt and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what's also interesting is that you can wear out your sword, so you have to run back to his treasure chest and get a sword.
Is that an interactable object that can be hit?
I think so. Actually, I think you can destroy it, but it will respawn.
Okay.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's definitely. Oh God, we lost Ray.
We did. He's back.
I'm alive.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. What the hell happened?
Yeah, please don't do that.
Oh, you switched cameras. Is that what happened?
No, I did not switch cameras.
Okay. So, yeah, so he's very interesting. But not a character I'm gonna play.
How's his music?
Yo, Minecraft music's amazing.
It's
incredible. Holy shit! There's only I think there's only 8 tracks, but I imagine there's not a lot of Minecraft music.
No.
And they Smash Brothers it up. It is incredible. Those tracks are really strong. So the sky is blue. Smash Brothers music is good.
Sakurai is amazing.
Sakurai's amazing, and that game doesn't deserve him. Blah blah blah. Usual. So yeah, and I finished Steve's classic mode. I finished up the spirit board because got to update those spirits.
Oh, he's on the Muriel now, right?
Say again?
He's on the Muriel?
Steve?
Mural?
Is that like Ariel?
Mural. No.
Mural.
The Little Mermaid?
Characters on the mural.
Muriel is something you shouldn't name your daughter.
Yes. Yeah, no, they haven't put any of the DLC characters on that mural.
Oh. I thought...
on the difficulty mural?
Yeah.
Are you talking about? Yeah, it's not. No, none of the DLC characters are on there.
Even the first? I thought Terry was on it.
No, Terry's not on there. No one's on there. No, I don't think Piranha Plant's on there.
Okay. I could have sworn.
Yeah, so yeah, a little bit of that. I also booted up King of Fighters 2002.
Oh, the rollback.
Tested out that rollback. It plays incredible. And there seems to be a nice little trend of these old games getting rollback on Steam.
That's
really nice.
Companies are testing the waters, but like no new fighters are willing to.
They're
put that
dipping their toes in.
Yeah.
I mean, they work well. So now Garo and Last Blade and KOF 2002 all have rollback. I think Guilty Gear Accent Core is getting rollback. Like all these older fighters, which is cool. You know, and it's nice because it revives them for like a couple minutes.
Yep. I mean,
which is nice.
We are sorely in need of new fighting games.
There needs to be new fighting games with good netcode. Like, you just have to get the good netcode. Because if you have the good netcode, it doesn't completely fix the Wi-Fi problem, but it helps mitigate it a lot.
Have they added crossplay to any of these titles?
I don't know if that's feasible for these older titles.
It's probably not in their current state. I imagine if they were ever like, here's this super awesome new version of this game, and hopefully maybe one day there'll be crossplay of it.
Also, a lot of these games, these older games, aren't available on these modern platforms.
No, they're not. Like Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, one of my favorite SNK fighting games, is not available on any of the new platforms.
Which is a shame since they've released so many of their old games.
Everything but Battle Coliseum. It's like, what is wrong with you? The game is so good. You've ported so much to Steam. And it's not like they don't have a 360 version laying around. Because they do.
Well, that means that you can just play it on your Xbox because, you know.
Well, I guess you could, yeah. But good luck with that netcode. That's old SNK netcode.
Oh, also, good luck with finding other people playing it anyway.
Yeah, that too.
Well, people were playing 2002 for a little bit.
Yeah, they were. It was nice. It was actually nice to get some matches with that. So it was a lot of fun. And that game, I forgot how stacked that fucking roster is. Because there's already like a lot of base characters, and they threw in all the boss characters from all the previous KOFs as well.
Yeah, it's one of the best KOFs.
And yeah, with it as far as like the old school KOF games, it's definitely, I like it more than 98 personally. And I love 98 a lot, but I think what's really cool is that there's EX versions too of like more than half the cast.
I love that. I love the EX character thing.
Yeah,
that needs to come back.
So if you want charge motion Robert Garcia, you got him. You know, it's really cool. Like there's
the way he's meant to be played.
I agree. I much prefer. My favorite Robert is Battle Coliseum Robert.
He's this weird hybrid in KOF 13.
Yeah,
where some moves are charged and other moves are not.
I mean, that's usually most of the Kyokugen fighters, and most of the time it's the kick move that's the charge, like their Hurricane Kick or whatever.
Hien Shippukyak is pretty much a charge move for all the Kyokugen karate guys.
Yeah, unless you're Marco Rodriguez or Kushnu Butt.
Marco Rodriguez.
That's not what it says on my screen, guys.
God damn it. God fucking damn it.
They couldn't pay the voice actor enough to say this name.
Oh, God. God, it just makes my brain ache. But yeah, so KOF 2002, that was a nice little dive in with that. That was fun. I think that's pretty much it for me. I haven't had a chance to really dig into anything.
So you got like 6 titles right there.
Yeah, but like it's nothing like majorly substantial. Like it was fun, but like I keep wanting to get into Squadrons, but I have drift on my flight stick. I figured out.
That's why you gave it to you.
No, I have a feeling it happened when the flight stick was dropped by Claire a couple weeks ago.
By who?
No one. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Just you know.
Well, I could bet. I bet you could probably fix that.
Yeah, or just compensate for the drift.
No, the thing is, like, I have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, just be like, "Alright, fuck it."
Yeah, like
I could compensate for this.
You can actually, like, most flight sim games actually have that. I think there's dead zone compensation.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can do it in the game. I just have to figure out how to do it. Like, because I'm staring at it, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I barely know how to play the game. Like, I'm playing the game and I was flying around. I'm like, this is fucking great.
Yeah, it's
incredible,
really good, but it's
a lot.
The barriers, yeah. I'm like, shit, this is.
I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm real bad. I am garbage trash at that game.
Have you played online yet?
Oh, why?
Oh yeah, I can't.
For what?
I gotta do the single player
Bro,
shit first.
I can barely shoot down the computer. Like, I'm not flying around trying to fucking get into dogfights with people who are gonna be barrel rolling on purpose. Like, nah, I'm good. So, the plan is to get squadrons in a more functional capacity, so I can possibly get into that more.
Yeah.
And a couple other things that I'm staring at right now.
I haven't played much of anything. Here's a novel.
Yeah, fuck you.
Alright.
Well, it doesn't feel like I played a lot of new.
Okay.
It's nothing new. That's the problem.
Old Joe, let's hear you read from your novel.
Well, my novel of dissatisfaction.
Also,
It's
airport novel.
It's a novel that has been read many times.
Yes, tale
We
as
shall
old.
read it again.
Tale as old as time.
Yep.
Tale as old as time. So I talked about Satisfactory, right?
Oh,
Yes.
wait, what? You don't like Satisfactory?
No,
You're not satisfied?
I liked Satisfactory, but I got to the point where I had pretty much like unlocked Elmo just about everything, and I didn't feel like starting over. So like I feel like I'm not playing that game quite correctly. Like I've just sort of scratched the surface of what I should be doing. Like I've made like elaborate highways and made like train loops and stuff. So I've been getting like pretty much into it, and the map is humongous.
Mm-hmm.
The map is humongous.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll just go wandering and exploring and leave my factory to do its thing. Next thing I know, like everything I get back, everything is broken. I'm like, what happened? It was a little frustrating reorganizing my things. So I didn't want to restart because I had
broke it, the fauna?
No, like for some reason,
Random space steer.
for some reason I can't seem to figure out the fluid pipe mechanics all too well. Like it seems to just randomly fail.
Okay.
So something's going on with that. I had a lot of my gas power plants just fail, and I have like all my power networked together.
Mm-hmm.
So when one thing goes down, the entire grid shuts down. And it's like a pain in the neck to restart. Because I need to make sure everything's running. But if the pipe's not working and supplying the fuel, then I'm not going to get that power going, and I don't have any power to push the fuel into the tank. There's a pain in the neck. Everything is a hot mess. Like, pipes are just over pipes, twisting around in knots. I'm like, I need to reorganize this, but I didn't have the patience for it. So I wanted to start over again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I chose like the third spawn location, and I'm wandering around. I'm looking about the map. I'm like, wait a second. I know where I am. So I thought there were 4 map choices, and then I had like the astronaut in space with the gun moment, and I'm like, wait, it's all the same map. Always has been.
Always was.
The map is humongous because there's one map.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went back to the location where I had built my factory, and I came across an area of a hilly, rocky area with a lot of dense fog and animals and flora and fauna just milling about, and I just had this. I was just washed over with this sense of profound sadness.
Profound sadness.
Looking at the area where I had built my mighty empire just not being there anymore. And I'm like, I'm gonna wait until this game has more stuff to come back to it.
Oh, it's still early access, right?
It's still in early access.
Of course, it's early access. It sure likes it.
It was an early access. It was actually Epic exclusive early access for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came out in Steam a few months ago.
Does it have different biomes right now, or just like
just one giant
maps?
big map? But
Yeah.
it's a great map. It's fantastic. You can do a lot in this map, and I haven't completely figured out how to navigate it as efficiently as I'd like. But there's still stuff in it. There's still stuff about the game that needs to be completed. Like there's various features and stuff that hasn't been, that they just say, it's just flat out say is a work in progress. And I've reached the end of the supply line to outer space, so I'm like kind of disincentivized from playing it any further. But I really like this, and I really hope to get back to it once it's complete. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, so I stopped playing it, and I kind of want to go back to it because I just haven't I haven't felt good about playing a video game since I stopped, because I went to Star Wars Squadrons, and I decided mouse and keyboard was fine, because I don't have a flight stick, and I don't like to aim with a controller, so I decided to learn the game how to play on mouse and keyboard. And it's fine, I can control it, but I am also trash at this, and I have played online. And it was very, very, very frustrating.
Yeah.
Trying to enjoy.
Are they savage online?
It's I can't really tell, because I feel like every match I go in, I feel like I'm doing something wrong, and I feel like I'm not contributing, and I'm an actively bad participant for my party. It feels like we are losing because I am feeding the other team, and
that never feels good.
It just feels very, very, very bad.
There's tech in the game where people just stop flying and they just pretty much set up like a turret.
Oh yeah, I've picked up on the tech, and I have gotten better.
Yeah,
You know, I have gotten pretty good at being a little bit defensive, but there are some really stubborn people who just will not get off your tail. But it was a lot of fun playing with my brother and being like, I got somebody on my tail, I can't shake him, and I'm like, I'm fucking playing Star Wars.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This game, Star Wars Squadrons, is perfect.
Yeah,
it is
for what it is.
It is everything I wanted it to be. The only complaint I have is that I was not able to flush my coolant injectors.
It's coming in a patch.
Yeah, that's not in the game, but you know, I can assign power to shields, maneuvering, weapons. Like I can balance that out, and I have to do that on the fly
manually. Yeah.
It has just the right amount of customization. Although I think some things can be improved, or
there's more things to put in.
They need to like. I think more variety would be better.
I think customizing your ship would be cool.
You can.
I think you can. Yeah.
You can.
Okay.
You can customize your ship a little bit, you know, superficially or mechanically.
Right. Yeah.
But I think a lot of the choices don't really seem all that good. So there's definitely some, you know, must choose picks. The weapons maybe not so much, but like the shields and the hulls and the maneuvering thrusters or whatever. You know, those are pretty much, you don't have much choice there.
Yeah.
The primary weapons too, like there's like a lot of the choices are like for shields, like versus shields. Like you can tell this game was designed around the fleet mode. I think dogfighting is just kind of ass.
It's not. Yeah. Even the single player stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I love this dogfighting stuff.
But I'd like to play with people, and I don't have anyone to play with. When I play by myself, it's profoundly unsatisfying, because I feel like.
I mean, you have people.
I'm just the.
We're bad.
I am the sixth party member for the other team.
Third imposter.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It feels terrible, so I didn't play it. So I needed.
It's a high learning curve.
Yeah, I mean, I can play it. I know how to play it. I just don't think I want to play this with other people. So I set it aside for now. I was hoping that would get me through October, because November has all the good stuff. Noita 1.0 came out.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think I like that game anymore.
Since 1.0, or because you put so much time into it?
Maybe
a little bit of both. Because I go into it, and there are definitely fun parts about this game, but I can never reach them because the game does not allow me to. Because I'm getting shot up, burned, blasted around, and then sometimes the game just doesn't give you anything good. Like if there's a fun game in there, it just doesn't let it happen.
It's funny because this sounds exactly like it sounded like when you started playing the game.
Yeah, you know, and I kept trying to reach that high that I got with it a couple of times, and I just can't get back to it. And since 1.0, they did something to it where you start with like a random loadout, because they at one point in the early access they gave you like a a vial of water, which you could use to put out the fire that is always around you.
Yeah.
And all the toxic waste you can just wash off you, right? They don't give you that anymore. Now they start you with a random flask of gunk. It could be acid, it could be pheromone liquid.
I thought you literally meant gunk.
It could be gunk. It could be slime. It could be whiskey. It could be gunpowder. But they don't give you that water flask anymore. So now they've added an extra element at the start of I need to get water.
And there's no trinket in the game to like force the water out for your next run.
What I have to do is I have to empty the flask and find water. And there's going to be water around. But sometimes there's nothing but toxic sludge. Sometimes there's nothing but fire. And it used to be you have this vial of water and you come across the toxic sludge. You mix the sludge with the water and the sludge becomes water. And you're fine. And
Did you try taking Ye Flask?
I have taken Ye Flask. Sometimes they don't give you extra flasks. So after a few runs of that, I got immensely frustrated and just said, I don't think I like this game anymore. Which is a shame because there's a lot of fun to be had with it. The wand crafting in that game is really, really good. Like, that could be a game in itself. It's just kind of a shame they cooked it inside this really giant mess of, like, a game where the idea is not to win. You don't win at this game, but I would appreciate it if I at least got to the point where it was fun before I lost consistently. And I just got really tired of it. And the search for another game to carry me through October has continued. And since Baldur's Gate 3 is in super early access, and I think I'm really sick and tired of buying games in super early access.
And it's like you can see the structure in that game. I heard it's
like
you see like
it's not ready. Don't get it yet.
Yeah, I'm hearing really bad things about it.
Like
I'm hearing promising things about it.
Yeah,
yes, promising, but
lots of promising things, but it is like it is falling apart.
Yeah, you could see the scenery.
Yeah.
That's Larian Studios for you. I remember playing Divinity Original Sin 1. And
it is
playing that game, it's like watching a theater play where you can see the stage cutouts in the background, and you can, kind of break the fourth wall. Like I see how they programmed this.
Jim, hide the boom mic.
Yeah.
All right, just keep it in.
Yeah, you can see that. It was cleaned up a lot in Divinity Original Sin 2. So.
Yeah.
So I went to another game I had bought at the same time as Divinity. I went to Pillars of Eternity 2. And this game is not clicking with me. It's
Divinity 2?
No, Pillars of Eternity 2.
Oh, Pillars of Eternity 2.
Divinity 2, I have like hundreds of hours.
Hey, played the shit out of that. I was like, wait a minute. I got confused.
This is the pirate one, right?
This is the pirate one, yes.
Okay.
Where it has like two options. It has like this real-time combat with pause, which is the way the game is intended, or turn-based combat. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this game the way it was intended. Why not? Sure. And I did my normal, start the game, make the wizard thing. They offered me the chance to multi-class, and they're like, please do not multi-class in your first playthrough. I'm like, whatever.
I got this, son.
Yeah. Picked the higher difficulty, went in perfectly, carefully crafted my character, but they threw so many words I just didn't understand. And they have like descriptions, and I'm like, okay, that affects accuracy, and also
what kind of words, like just nouns you have no sense of concept for,
stuff like fortitude, resistance, and I forget the exact words they use, but like
I have a basic understanding of that though.
There's a lot of fantasy RPG buzzwords in there that I figured eventually I will come to understand. But at this time,
and you still don't.
Yeah. So I went in, and the real time with pause combat is so chaotic and just kind of unresponsive. Like there were several times when I clicked an ability and it just didn't happen. I'm just sitting there waiting for it to happen, and it's not happening. And then meanwhile, everything's like beating me up. I'm like, why isn't this happening? What's going on? And after a while, combat just kind of ended. I'm like, oh, I won? Okay, I don't really remember trying very hard.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
Nice
got
AI.
nice AI, right?
The pause. You toggle the pause, correct?
No, the pause toggles itself, or I can toggle it on my own.
Okay.
But I couldn't figure out why some of my abilities weren't happening. This game is a buggy mess.
Still, this thing is
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Huh.
Several times I have tried to use a potion, nothing happened.
Yeah, that's not
I'm
good.
like, let me drink this potion because I'm almost dead. Why aren't you drinking the potion?
Huh.
Now I'm dead.
That's
I've gotten
really
into several encounters where like I have like 5 or 6 enemies just completely run past my entire party and focus fire on the main character. And I'm like, what can I do to stop this? Because my spell isn't coming out. I can't pause the action. I can't target an AoE efficiently because things are moving too quickly and I'm dead before I can react.
kill the white mage. They're playing it right.
The game teeters on really easy or really hard.
Seems familiar.
Yeah, it did. But I was in an at-level area and just getting completely slaughtered by ranged attacks. I'm like, I must be doing something wrong. I started over, invested in more defensive abilities. Still wasn't. It didn't change anything. I was still dying too quickly.
Shit.
So I was forced to start over on a lower difficulty. And that alleviated it, but I didn't feel satisfied with it. Because I wasn't getting what I wanted from it. Level up seemed very impotent. Where I would buy new abilities and just kind of not understand what they were doing, or they would just seemingly not have an impact on what was going on. Like, I'm sure something happened, but it certainly wasn't as impactful as shoot thing, do damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I just focused on a shoot thing, do damage character.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with that is I don't think spellcasting in this game is any good.
That's bad.
Yeah. Because it just seems so unresponsive, and the chaotic flow of the game where everything is just moving around and you have like recovery time between attacks, and like you have like 3 things attacking you, and not only is the recovery time a problem, but there's active spell casting time after the recovery bar ends. You have to wait for the recovery bar to end, select the spell, cast the spell, which has its own startup time, and hope you get it off in time, and hope nothing moved around in the area of effect you pointed at.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it just moves too quickly. And as you gain more party members, it's really hard to see what's what and who's what, because they don't convey that information very well at all.
Have you tried the turn-based version?
Next thing I tried was the turn-based version.
Mm-hmm.
And right away, it was very, very clear this game was not made with that in mind. Right away.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah. Because they focused a lot of like attacks and abilities and penalties based off the recovery time, which is not a thing in turn-based combat.
Yeah.
So I was very interested to hear.
I actually didn't make a caster character for the turn-based version, because maybe I should have. It might be more conducive to like a caster character, but I made like some monk rogue hybrid where I was trying to do sneak attack with like fast punches. So I'm like, let me try this out. So I did that on the turn-based mode, and I quickly was like, nah, this is not what I want. I don't want short recovery on the turn-based mode. So I went back and made the same monk rogue character on the real time with pause thing.
Oh, you're locked in two-way mode?
Yes.
Oh.
Once you start the game, you're locked into that mode, because like the game changes around it.
Interesting.
So finally, I think I'm at a point where this game is a little bit more tolerable now, where I'm not playing a spellcaster, but things just still don't feel very satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly not as your abilities certainly aren't as impactful or even as fun as they were in Divinity Original Sin, and I backed the right horse when I played Divinity first. I really did. Because I don't think I care for Pillars all that much. The way the combat flows is too chaotic. It's too much of a mess. Like you can't really organize things very well. I think if you liked Final Fantasy 12, you might like this a little bit more. Because there's a lot more. It's more about macro management than it is about micromanagement. Because everybody has their own AI sets, and it's like starting with the Gambit system all completely unlocked or something.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe someone with a more experience with 12 might like it more because there's a lot of if-then conditions.
woohoo!
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So you could theoretically not touch any of your party members, but just the one.
You can pretty much never touch your party members.
Ooh, this sounds.
Let's
pretty
download
good.
this. All right.
All right.
Yep, time to get this game.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, you might like it a little bit more than I wanted to micromanage my stuff, which is, what I wanted. But there's just you can do it that way. It's probably intended to play that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Final Fantasy 12 is a miserable experience if you're micromanaging.
Yeah. It seems
Which
like
is why a lot of people didn't like it initially.
It seems like
Well-
it's the same case with Pillars too, but I don't know. Like I don't really care for it. Again, it's a little too easy sometimes, a little too hard other times.
Mhm.
And controlling things is really problematic because I remember several times I have moved my main character out of melee combat to reposition, and then she just like rushed right back in to the same place that I escaped from, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Like, stop!" Like, I would use my ability to escape, and then move the cursor to somewhere else on the map, and they would move there, and then they rush right back in. I'm like, "Stop! That's not what I asked you to do!" And
Yeah, that's Gambit system for you right there.
like, please stop.
Got to turn them Gambits off
Yeah.
first.
I gotta, I don't know. So I don't know where I'm at with this game. It's also optimized like shit.
Maybe you should try playing Final Fantasy 12.
I did, and I didn't care for it either.
Oh, right, I forgot.
Yeah.
You said that.
Yeah.
I did
Joe
try.
gave that game a pretty fair shake.
Oh, maybe
For my
not a
recollection.
completely fair shake, but
They updated the console and I think the PC version to what the Switch was.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
The changes to the Switch version are really good, right?
Yeah. It was an extra Gambit system slot, like preset, and something else. I forgot.
I get it. So, but
reset.
I'd like to micromanage my RPGs. I
That's
was
fair.
getting to the point. I had just come from a game where I was trying to automate everything and make things mechanically optimal. And if I wanted to play that game again, I would go do it. So I don't know. I want to like this, but it's also hard to play the game on 20 FPS. It's optimized so poorly.
That's so great. I thought this would have been a great PC. Hold on. When did this game come out? Like 2018, right?
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like this is pushing any graphical envelopes
Yeah, I've
here.
seen it before.
I had the same problem with Tower of Time where it would just kill my frame rate for no reason. It's like memory
Interesting.
leaks and CPU inefficiency. It's bad sometimes.
They're definitely not gonna update it
I'm walking around a town at 15 FPS. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, really?
They're not gonna fix that because this
No.
game is old enough for them to say like, oh,
That's
well,
right.
whatever.
Yeah. So the only satisfying experience I had was going back to Axiom Verge.
I
you
saw
playing
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I smiled when I saw you playing it, actually.
Yeah. I saw a friend of mine on Twitch playing it while I was at work because I can do that because I'm working remote. I'm like in the classroom with Twitch on the second monitor. Sorry. It's exposing myself here. I get it. But I was watching him play and I'm like giving him advice. I'm like, you know what? I really want to play this again. I really want to play this. Yeah. So
Game's great still.
It's still really good. I went through it, I beat it in pretty quick fashion. I'm like, you know what? Let me just see how quickly I can beat this. And I started the speedrun mode, and it's just like doing casual speedruns, not trying to be like speedrun superhero, finish this in half an hour like most people can.
Nah, I'm not saying most people. I mean, the world record is 33 minutes.
Yeah. Well, like the fastest people can, I guess. Like I'm at an hour 30, which is nice. And I think I'm comfortable with that, and I'd like to play a little more, do a little more casual speed running. But I played that game to death. It's still fun, but I played it to death.
Yeah.
I could really use something more satisfying right now, and I'm just feeling unfulfilled at the moment. And it's a really frustrating experience because I spent so much money on all these games recently, like Star Wars and Satisfactory and Pillars, and like, please let something be worth my money here.
You could play a free game.
I could play a free game like Genshin Impact, I guess, but I would have to configure the controls.
You can't.
This is honestly, it is
unacceptable.
It is unacceptable, and it really is the thing that is holding me back from going to play.
I get it.
Yeah, it really
I
is.
want to get it.
It is the only thing.
To be fair, though,
Otherwise, I
the
wouldn't be playing it.
mouse and keyboard is actually very good in the game.
I don't think
It's kind of the optimal way to play.
I don't want to play a game like that.
I agree.
What? If I'm desperate enough, maybe, but I really think I can hold out for November because there's some really cool stuff in November I want to play.
Cyberpunk's almost here.
Cyberpunk's
It's almost here.
Before that, I can get Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh my god.
Looks amazing.
Every trailer that they show of that fucking
It's just
game,
more and more nutty.
it looks incredible.
I'm really looking forward to playing that on stream.
I am happy that not that I'm happy. It is smart that they didn't put 7 at the end of that title.
Yeah, it really is
Super duper smart.
Because it's not. It's not a sequel. It's a completely new thing.
Yeah, and I don't feel that dread of like, well, got to play the first 6 games before I jump into this one.
Yeah,
like this is own thing.
I just don't care.
Oh yeah,
it looks so nutty.
Yeah,
it looks so nuts.
I can't wait. It's keeping me going. It's
of
keeping
course.
me getting through the days.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I'm just like, please, someone help me get through this hell that I'm in right now.
Yeah,
the world is.
It is some kind of hell. It's the difference between being in your element and being trapped in your element, and that's where I'm at right now.
That is true.
And right now, my element is hell. Just nothing is working for me. Theo, what you got? That's good. Help me out. I need something. Everything I want to play is like a month and a half. Come on.
Can I do it?
What?
Yeah, Theo, what you got?
I figured I'd save you the trouble.
This is odd. Unlike these 2 liars over here that said they don't have anything but had a lot of stuff. I actually don't have a lot of stuff this week.
Cool.
I didn't say I didn't have a lot of stuff. I said I had a lot of unsatisfying stuff.
Oh,
I said I didn't have a lot of new stuff.
Gotcha. Okay, I guess I heard you too wrong. But the only thing that I really touched on because I was so busy this week was Hades, which I absolutely cracked out on.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Absolutely cracked on.
I hear that's nothing to do with that game.
I've been like super busy with school and stuff like that. It's actually getting pretty difficult. But there was 2 days that this past week where I literally woke up, started playing that game, and didn't put it down until I went back to sleep. That game is phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Favorite weapon, go.
You know what?
And variant.
The fist with the Shoryuken.
Really? I hate the fist.
So I got my first win with the fist. I hated it at first too.
Yeah.
So, okay.
You know what it is? Because I'm so married to that butterfly.
Yeah. Yeah. That game, I don't dislike roguelikes, but I'm more indifferent towards them. I don't love them or anything like that, but I can still play them. This game has a very smart thing where its loop is incredible, where when you die, you go back to like your hub and there are new things to new characters to talk to and new information to gain, right?
It doesn't feel like a reset.
No. So like other roguelikes, like I really love Flint Hook for like a good weekend, right? But every time I die, I'm like, I'm just restarting. Like is nothing really to this. Like Hades, I die in that game, I curse, and then I'm like, well, let me go to the hub and talk to my dad. Let me talk to Achilles. And I'm like, you know what? I'm already here. Let me just start a new run. And it just constantly keep going like that for hours. And I'm like, I cannot put this game down. It is so fucking good. And there's new dialogue every single run. I don't understand it.
after playing for all year in early access, I'm
Yeah.
still hearing new dialogue from the stuff that wasn't new.
So the first time I got to the boss of the game, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out who the boss is.
I wonder.
It's Angela.
Yeah,
Can't
right.
figure it out.
Spoilers.
So, first time I got to that boss, I died, started over, and like your first run back into the game, they're like, "Hey, here's a new character, here's a new god," and I'm like, "What?" I already played this game for like 20 hours, and now I have a whole new build I can create. The game it's this like Super Giant has like I don't think they have missed at any point in their whole career. Like all their games are at least a 9+. Like I don't even love Transistor, but it's still an incredible game,
I
right?
love
kinda crush
Transistor
it.
a lot, and
So-
I would love to see a game with the mechanics in Transistor in it.
So
you know,
So here's the thing, Transistor is a really weird game for me because aesthetically, presentation wise, and the concept of the gameplay I really love, but something about it meshed together just didn't click with me. I don't know what it
I'm
is,
with you
but
on that one, but like, I really want to see that kind of gameplay and more stuff.
yes, I think it's really cool with the whole functions and putting things
Yes,
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But Hades is Super Giant's like magnum opus. It is I cannot stop playing this game. It's so fucking good. If I had one issue with the game, and I think it's maybe indicative to roguelikes in general, I think that game doesn't teach you how to fight bosses as well as other roguelikes. So I guess what I mean by that is there are particular builds you have in that game, right? Like you have something like if you get Poseidon, you get knockback, and then you get another thing like Rapture, where your knockback, if it hits into the wall, you do massive damage.
Which is a great ability.
It's an incredible ability against regular enemies.
Yes.
Because once you get to the boss, it's like there's
does
so many
nothing.
times it does nothing. So there's so many times where I'll have an amazing build. I'm like, yeah, I'm crushing it with this build. I get to sticks with all my Death Defiance. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna knock it out the park. I get to the final boss, and
Good
I get
job.
to
Good job.
The final boss of the game called Hades is Hades.
Can't believe you spoiled it.
I'm so sorry, guys, rats. But I get to the final boss, and I'm like, I'm doing nothing against him, even though this build is killer against regular enemies. And the first time I won, like I was struggling with that build the whole way through. I was like, I'm not gonna make it. But I end up getting a boon. A boon is basically something you get from the gods, right?
Yes.
When you mix certain boons, you get a duo boon. I got a boon where I think is oh god. I think it's Athena and the Demeter, where it's called Stubborn Roots, where if you lose all your resets in that game, your life just regens after like every other second. So
Never gotten
it
that
took
one.
me, yeah, it's that's pretty much the only reason I was able to beat Hades, because Jesus. Well, beat Hades, the game.
Ah,
Anyway, but yeah, just as soon as you beat that game, and then you see the I don't want to call it the ending, but you see a scene, and then it's like, yeah, you have to go back and do this whole shit over again. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I'm doing this. Like I think this might possibly be my Binding of Isaac. Like I just can't stop putting this thing down.
Yeah, I was like that for a while too. And then I just like, I realized I was only using one weapon as the game got harder and harder because I hated the other ones.
The shield I hated at first, but is really good
It's
after a while.
It's inconsistent.
So I think that's a roguelike problem. Sometimes you're just gonna have like a really bad run. You're like, oh come on, give me some good boons over here, man.
Yeah.
But I recently found out a thing where if you go into like there's a like extensive codex in this game, right? So you go into the codex and you go into a god codex and you can see their list of boons, and it shows you what matches up with other boons that might make your run easier. So when I learned that, I'm like, okay, cool. I can like kind of tweak my build a little better than me just haphazardly
But you're still
making whatever.
you're still beholden by what they give you.
Yes.
Not only that, you can't just restart if you don't like how your run's
So-
going.
I think that's one of my issues also, because there's a lot of times where I've gotten to like Elysium and then I'm like, I'm not doing enough damage. I know I'm not gonna beat this run because I'm just regular enemies I'm still having issues with.
You can't just like off yourself.
Yeah. I wish there was a way to do that, because even there is a give up option, but it says like, oh, everything you've gained up until this point is just null and void.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'll just like self-sacrifice.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
then it like starts you over with the same choices. That's what that'll do.
does it do that?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. If
'Cause
you
I know
yeah.
when-
if you don't die in your run, they'll start you over with the same choices. Like the opening god will still be the same.
Oh, well, what I do is I use my keepsakes. Like, say, I love Athena's deflect in that game because I am not good with projectiles in that game. Sometimes I get like some bullet hell type of shit.
Things will get past you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that is true.
The best thing is Athena's a deflecting dash.
Every time I see that, I'm like the deflecting dash, and the second best is Demeter's dash that does like the chill damage. Chill in that game is broken.
Yeah, it's real good.
So fucking good.
It's so good. Yeah.
I was like, wait, hold on. You guys didn't have this initially? God
nope,
damn
they
it.
didn't. They did not. No, I can't get past the I can't get past the bow. I can't.
The bow,
I
the bow
can't use anything else.
The bow is too good. Like
It's too
once
good.
you get the hammer and you do like, you don't have to charge your shots anymore. I'm cool without the power shots. I just like my single shots. I'm like,
it's all about. I've powered up the secondary so much that it just like sprays arrows and just kills things dead.
oh, you like the first bow, the original one?
Yes.
The what's the second one?
The gun?
Citron? No. The second bow, the second tier.
Oh.
Something Citron, where it tags the enemy and then all your.
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh, that's so good.
That's the one. That's the
so
one. I can't stop using it.
It's so good.
I've had so many good runs with the gun too. The gun is amazing.
The gun is really good.
Yeah.
So that game is best where you're kind of not up in the enemy's faces.
Yes, which is why I can't stand the fists.
I won with the fists. The fists have a really cool thing where, like, because I had that chill dash damage, and then you kind of just dash between the enemies and just keep hitting them, and then do like the Shoryuken, and it's really good. The game does a really smart thing of incentivizing you to play with each weapon, because it gives you like that 20% more darkness and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I damn it, I can't stop playing this fucking game. It's so good. So good.
This
seems to be on a lot of people's like potential game of the year lists.
It's great,
and I'm hearing that from like a lot of people.
It's absolutely wonderful. I'm glad I picked it up when I did. December 19 when I picked it up. Yeah.
It's just, oh man, and I actually can't wait for the because there's cross saves between the PC version and the Switch version. I can't wait till that starts up so I can just start playing on PC, because it gets a little just a tad bit framey when things gets crazy. But other than that, just also the main character, he's just great. He's just really charming and just a wholesome dude. Like he talks shit.
It's really charming.
He's just awesome. Yeah. Even your dad, he like even hates himself. He's like, I don't want you to leave, but nah, I'm just gotta kind of give you shit. I'm like, okay, all right, Dad.
Know your fucking place, little boy.
Yeah,
I'm a dick, but I'm not gonna tell you why I'm a dick, because that wouldn't make me a dick anymore.
Yeah, but then you'll find out you're like, oh, okay, Dad.
Yeah,
there was a reason why you had to do this. You said you got the true ending, Joe?
True ending? I'm not really sure. I finished the game after they put in the proper epilogue.
How much times did you finish it?
Only once.
Since one.
Only
okay,
once.
So to get the true ending, you have to beat it numerous times.
I don't know. I don't even know if there was a true.
No,
ending.
I'm telling you the true ending. You have to beat it numerous times.
I see.
Yeah, you have to beat the game about like
10.
10 times or
Oh,
something like
I
that.
might be able to do that if I.
It's not once you get the you start to see the power creep in that game, because at first you're like, oh man, I'm barely making it to Elysium, but now afterwards I'm like, that Theseus, yeah, he's not a problem for me. No, Theseus, get out of here, man. You ain't nothing.
This dude is free. But then you start pumping up the boss fights. You're like,
Yeah,
what?
I've started doing that because they have
like the
levels.
alternate Hydra is nightmare.
Really?
It's not fun at all.
Oh, because I actually did one of those, and the stage is like broken up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. It's he's like a free boss. You know who actually usually gets me? One of the Furies, the one with the yellow hair. I forgot her name. She gets me. I'm like, oh damn it. Yeah, I'm probably not
it's
good.
really fun when you fight all three of them at once.
Yeah, I've tried that. Yeah, it's not fun. I just can't stop playing this game. Can't. It's Chris. You would really like it.
I'm going to play this. This is one of those titles that I'm going to play it because the art design alone makes me want to play it.
The art design, the combat, Super Giant's just story and characters is just.
Confession time. I have never played a Super Giant game. Not once.
Really? Not even Transistor?
Not even Transistor.
Not even Bastion.
Not even Bastion. I'll be honest. Bastion's camera placement turned me off.
I get it. I can see that.
That's really what it was. I looked at it, I was like, I don't like this set camera. Something
and then when the stages like kind of like I forgot, like it gets created as you're walking. I personally love that aesthetic, but I can definitely see that.
I didn't vibe on the aesthetic. Although like I good things about it, but like when I saw it, it didn't look appealing to me.
There is one thing about Hades I don't like, and that's the spell mechanic with the
cast.
Yeah,
I literally don't use it.
Yeah, that's the problem I have. That's the problem I have with it.
I literally like sometimes you get some good ones, like you get the fog, the drunk fog ones where you like kind of throw a bomb, but other than that, do not use it.
Or the Ares spinning thing.
Yeah, that's good. The dash one is better though.
Yep. But the problem is there's a lot of weapon aspects are centered around using that. And
yes, too much.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I get like I'll get a 3 sets of boons and I'm like,
sometimes
great,
they just do not. They just
Hermes. I don't even fuck with Hermes because all he do is cast up. Like, oh, throw your cast out like rapidly. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not gonna use this.
Hermes has some good buffs.
Well, yes, he does because he has that double dash.
Yeah.
Where it's like that dash is vital. But most of his legendary things are the cast.
Yeah, and sometimes you won't get a spell.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just won't give you the option. Right. It's like I took this weapon to use this thing now, and you won't give me the thing.
Yep.
Why won't you give me the thing?
Or summon,
and then you have like limited uses of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to like pick it up, and it's in a convenient spot, or it just doesn't come back to you. It's just too high maintenance.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Yeah, that's the one thing about that game I don't like.
Because at first I thought they specified that if you like with no boons or anything like that, if you throw a cast into an enemy, they either take more damage or they are slow.
They take more.
Is that not the case?
They take more damage.
Oh, I feel like they barely take damage.
Yeah, it seems like that, and there's some casts where they just do not apply that debuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just feels janky, and I don't like it.
Yeah, and there's something about it I don't play, but I've been watching like a lot of this is how I know I'm into this game. I've been watching like a lot of YouTube stuff on it, like builds and stuff like that, and a lot of people like have like really strong cast builds.
I'm sure they are, but like you're always seeing the most optimal runs and not the ones that have to suffer through doing nothing.
Yeah, that's true. But that's pretty much me. I've been putting a little time slowly but surely into 13 Sentinels. That game is bananas. As I mentioned before, it has literally every time travel trope in it, and it embraces it. And I'm really interested to see where this story goes, because I feel like they're juggling too many things at one time, and there's no way it can land properly.
We'll
Like,
see.
there's no but everybody has beaten the game has said like, yo, this is one of the best stories I've
All
ever played in
threads
a
will
video game.
eventually converge.
And it's kind of the thing I wanted from Octopath Traveler, because the game is non-linear, where you can pick any set of the 13 characters, right? And
Yeah.
like kind of go through the story. And the way they're interweaving the story, despite you being in full control of which characters you see first, is impressive. Like, I don't understand how they're doing this
Mm-hmm.
with Vanilleware's artwork. So I'm just like, I'm playing this thing. I'm like, man,
Because it's pretty.
what are you pointing? What are you pointing at, Chris?
Aggressive pointing.
You finally did it.
Yeah.
It's like moving something off of my keyboard, but okay.
Unfortunately, with the fact that they have great artwork, there's just the combat system in the game totally skips that great artwork.
So the combat system, as I mentioned it before, it's kind of like is a turn-based RTS kind of thing. I think I more will liken it to a front mission, a real-time front mission that has like a turn-based aspect to it. And I started playing it way more arcadey, and I think I'm enjoying it a lot more now.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, you're right, Dre. It is not visually
Stimulating.
It's not at all. But they do a really cool thing where before you pick a move, there's like a little box of like them animating what the move will look like, and then I don't know. It's just something in my head where I'm like, oh yeah, he did like a giggle drill breaker or like a dive kick to this monster, and then when you see you blow up all those kaiju, you're like, yeah, that was fucking awesome. Like, it's not visually stimulating on the screen, but it sets up the imagination in a way where you're like, yeah, this probably looked really fucking cool. So
Okay.
but that artwork is still top notch.
Still great.
Amazing. But I'm not too far in that game, like maybe 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like a 40-hour game.
You have to play it for one more hour, Theo.
Before it ends.
Yeah.
I literally just got to a part before we started the cast. I got to a part where they kind of dropped the bomb, not a literal bomb. There are little bomb droppings in the game, by the way, but they dropped the bomb, and I'm like, what is this game? What's happening? Every single trope, by name too. Oh, Water Worlds, yeah, we're in here. Terminator, yeah, it's in here. It's like,
doesn't somebody say, "Come with me if you want to live" at some point?
Yeah,
of course, yeah.
Yeah. They're not shy about it.
They go all in, yeah. I respect the shit out of that. If they're just like, yeah, fuck it, why not?
Any less the game, like if the story wasn't as compelling as it is, you'd be like, oh my god, what are they doing? But now you're like, okay, yeah, I don't even care about that shit.
That whole never reference a better thing inside your crappier thing.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much me this week.
Nice.
Hades and 13 Sentinels. God, Hades is so fucking good.
Hades is really good. I wish I hadn't gotten tired of playing it.
Early access.
That's why I didn't want to touch early access. I've seen some of the early access builds, and I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, same reason I'm not touching Baldur's Gate, because I'm like, I'm tired. No more early access games, please.
You've had good luck, to be fair.
I have. Keep doing it yourself, man.
Well, because I am desperate for things to play. You know, I'm not like you guys where I can play whatever the hell I want. Yep, I have to really scrouge and scrape and fight my way to satisfaction.
Or satisfactory.
Or satisfactory. That game has multiplayer. You guys should play with me. Good.
Is it free to play?
No, it's like $30.
Chris just dead-eyed.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I just, Joe, there's nothing there for me, man.
It's fine, but at some point, I would like to play these games with multiplayer abilities with other people.
Yeah.
At some point.
But Joe, there has to be a game that I want to play.
I understand. Yes, I understand. I think you'd like this. Yeah. I think you'd like this. But right now, no, it's fine. We can live with that. I can live with that. Let it cook a little more and let it be finished. Then we'll talk. It doesn't have to be you though.
Just anybody, just
that's right.
Call to arms.
Yes. Hey, you know
what?
Hey,
Dre.
Yeah.
Huh?
Ray's already
Huh?
done.
Hey,
He did
there
them
it
already.
is.
He went already.
That's working, right?
No.
No, I'm saying he's gonna play Satisfactory.
No, you point the opposite direction.
I'm not.
There he
Yeah,
is.
that's not
Okay.
where I am.
Yes, that's
Okay.
Yeah.
On my stuff,
yeah.
he's
He's up here, Theo. He's up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not there.
No, he's here.
Okay.
Right here. There. See? Right here. They've moved.
Touch his nose. Touch his nose. Touch
I
his
am,
nose.
I am trying to touch his nose, but I have phased into his torso. A little weird. I am. Yeah. All right. This has gotten weird. Okay.
Yeah. So, is there any news you want to talk about?
I don't know.
I imagine there's some things.
Something. I don't know.
The
Maybe.
world is waiting for November. That's the news.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Everything that's coming out in November has gone gold.
Look, I don't know. I can't promise anything. Like if we go to the break and do the whole music bit and splash screen thing, we might not have a lot of news to come back to.
Okay.
So-
Definitely.
Do we want to do the break in the splash screen thing anyway?
Yeah, it could be like we come back 5 minutes. All right, well we're out.
Like, we lied. See ya.
All right. Well
Thanks.
go ahead and give the command, sir, and I'll make it so.
You just said make it so though. So like, how am I supposed to say it if you already said it?
Well,
You're the captain,
every captain has their own catchphrase.
But you have the catchphrase. It's
No.
cue the music.
No. Okay. Then I guess we'll go
Shouldn't
ahead.
you say cue the music?
Yeah, you should cue the music.
Say cue the music.
No,
right?
I'm not saying it.
Oh
Go
my
to break.
god. You're
We're
a
here.
terrible Starfleet captain.
Break time. All right. So I made no promises, and I have. There's no news really, so it's just random stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Sega's like put out a bunch of games and
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
free stuff.
Sega is celebrating their 60th anniversary. Or
Am
is
I
that-
the only one that was surprised by that?
No,
No,
It's a random number, so a little bit.
as I
for
like,
me.
or as I like to call it, their Go anniversary.
Ah.
it's
Shit. All right.
like I know I definitely pointed out in the chat. I was just like, why does this 6 look like a G?
It looks just like a G.
I don't know why did they edge? Why did they put that hard edge?
I don't know. It's the Sega.
It's
font.
Sega.
I just didn't know they were that old.
Well, Nintendo's
I mean,
older.
Nintendo's older.
I mean that they were doing cards. I know that.
Nintendo's
Yeah.
like,
118, I think.
yeah, Nintendo's
uh,
fucking ancient.
I didn't know Sega was. I didn't know they was doing anything before, like the Master System and stuff like that.
Yeah, like almost every one of these Japanese companies ended up shifting their
So
business from something to video games. It's like pretty much only Konami's the only one who's like, nah, we'll just
let's reverse
shift back because like this other stuff is better than making AAA games.
You guys like Peggle? Yeah, let's make a let's put Metal Gear Solid in Peggle. I played the fuck out of that.
Well, Sega has roots in like video game stuff, like real proto video game stuff. Like when arcades were first arcades,
Mhm.
like coin operated entertainment machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sega had their thumbs into that stuff. So
I guess I was surprised by that. I was like, I don't know enough Sega history to really know about that stuff. So
that's pretty much all I know about it.
really cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, super neat.
I wonder if they had like one of those things with like the pictures, where you rotate it and you like, you like saw some woman like showing a little bit of ankle. Whatever that.
I think that was 60 years ago.
No, it wasn't 60 years ago.
All right, well, they made a couple of free games to give out for it, which one of them is a Streets of Rage type of Yakuza game. They call it Streets of Kamurocho. They have featuring Kazuya. Is that Kazuya?
Yep.
And Majima.
And Goro Majima.
Yep.
I said Kazuya because I'm
Kazuya.
freaking like I have Tekken on my
Put
brain.
Kiryu in
Kazuma.
Fuck Kiryu and Tekken.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Golden Axed.
Golden
which
Axe is a fantastic name for this.
like a canceled prototype of a 3D Golden Axe.
I
There was something else that was supposed to be free too.
God, I think it's like a war game, a tactics game, or something like that.
Oh, Endless Zone.
Endless Zone, which is a space shooter.
Nice.
I think that came out today, if I'm not mistaken.
That's out too.
Yeah, I believe so. I really love the idea that they put out a canceled game. I think it's really neat, and I wish more companies did something like that.
Absolutely.
This is they're only supposedly available for a limited time, right?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was you keep it and you buy it and you keep not buy it, you download it and you keep it.
I'm not exactly sure how it works, but they're available.
Yeah, they're not being specific about it.
Okay.
Oh, they made a Total War Hearthstone game.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's also there too.
That what
Some
Armor
cool
of
stuff.
Heroes is?
Is that what?
Armor of Heroes is another retro. It's a retro tank battle. Oh, what was the name of that tank game we used to always play?
Not World of Tanks.
No. Shit, no.
World of Tanks.
Grace would know. Shit.
I never played it. I'm sure.
I think I know which one Joe's talking about. I cannot remember.
Oh, I can't remember the name of it. All right, whatever. Shit.
Was it just Battle Tanks?
No, it wasn't. It was. God, what the hell was the name of that game? This is gonna drive me nuts. All right, whatever.
You talking about like early? Are you talking about like an early computer game, Joe?
Yeah, like back in the '90s and shit.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Not
I forgot the name.
Battlezone.
No.
Some shit. I know what he's talking about. I cannot. The name.
Memories lost to time, man.
Yeah, the name.
Tanky McTank face.
Yeah, sure. That's it.
On it.
Was that?
Was it like harsh pixels? Like
no, it was like some game where you like controlled like from some tank from like the top down, and you would like reflect lasers off of barriers and shit.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Sonic 2 is free.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I downloaded it. I have it on like everything. I was like, might as well.
Is Sonic 2 better than Sonic 3?
No.
It's close.
They're very good. They're both very good, but I think 3's a little.
I think overall Sonic 2 has the better music too.
I
think that 3 has the better song, like probably the best song in the entire
Snow stage.
Snow capped.
No, it's not better.
It's
than
not better than
Chemical
Chemical Plant Zone.
No, it's not. Nothing is better than Chemical Plant Zone.
You know the problem with Chemical Plant Zone though is the One Wing Angel of Sonic.
Yeah,
game.
it's the Wily one of the Genesis.
Like I don't think Chemical Plant Zone song is that great.
You're crazy.
You are out of your mind.
That's a hot take.
That is the hottest take.
I'm not gonna say he's out of his mind because I have some pretty out of my mind takes, but that's a hot take.
Wow, that was all muted, Joe.
I said I'm not gonna criticize somebody for having. I'm not gonna tell him he's objectively wrong because I have like.
I mean, not objectively.
I have a lot of like I hate this takes.
I feel like there's just so many songs in Sonic 2 that are better than Chemical Plant Zone.
So many.
That's how I feel about DuckTales Moon Stage.
Well, yeah.
That's how I feel about that.
Moon Stage is good though.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah.
The rest of the DuckTales soundtrack is so-so, but that song is incredible. Dude, that shit's in the show.
Yeah, that was great too. It actually kind of made me tear up a little bit.
Dude, I saw that. I was like, "What is even happening right now?" Holy shit! There's
lyrics to it, right? She's singing
lyrics to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's better. It's actually probably a little better than this, but there's a moment in the Batman versus Turtles, the Batman and Turtles team up movie, where one of the turtles throws a foot soldier at the camera, and I fucking lost it. I went, what?
That's one of those things only a few people would get, but they did it for you.
I think enough people would get it.
I don't know about that.
I think if you watch it.
If you're a Turtles fan and you're above the age of like 30, you get it.
Get it? Yeah. No, that was
a game for Super Nintendo. You got it.
That was there for the old people, and the old person was very happy watching it. I was like, "Oh, that's so good."
Unless you're too old and you only play the arcade version, you're like, "I don't get it."
It's in the arcade version.
Yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it was in the arcade version of Turtles in Time, not the original arcade version.
Yeah, Turtles in Time. Yeah.
Oh,
when they threw that shit, I was like, "That's." Mwah, chef's kiss. Perfect.
So a lot of Sega sales going on right now.
Sega is going hard right now.
Dude, they're doing
They are doing a lot of cool stuff.
a lot of cool shit.
With this sale, it had me thinking about Sega as a company in a first time in a long while, and I think I really like Sega.
Yeah,
Of course,
I might
you-
put them. No, I'm not even talking about the Bayonetta stuff, but like as a company, they kind of just put out fun shit.
now they do.
yeah. I
They
mean, when
always
you
did.
think about the Dreamcast
That's all it was. It was
and the
just fun
amount of
shit.
just weird stuff that was on that system, it's like
and,
these are video games.
and since I've come to embrace the weirdness of video games and like and appreciate those, I'm like, man, Sega got some weird fucking stuff. Like I'm
Yes.
watching the
Space-
like a dragon shit, and I'm like, no other company would do this.
Space Channel 5.
It's Final Chase.
Insanity. Fucking insanity. Seaman.
Seaman.
Yes, I know. Seaman. Like, that is... It doesn't get weirder than that.
It does not get weirder than Seaman.
To this day, it has not gotten weirder than Seaman. That's still the weirdest thing.
It's really only weird because of the voice actor.
No, it's weird,
No,
dude. It's
weird.
weird.
But then you add Leonard Nimoy, and you're like, all right, what?
Well,
what
Leonard Nimoy is just a narrator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
But-
just him being in the game is
Nuts. Can you imagine Leonard Nimoy reading that fucking script and be like, what the fuck
Hey,
is
that's
going on?
That must have been a trip. But you know what? I appreciate the fact that crazy shit like Space Channel 5 and Seaman exists.
Absolutely.
I love it when companies do weird shit like that. They just
Yeah.
try to just
Sega-
you know, just go for it, you know?
Sega, it's really hard to not love because yeah, exactly. They just fucking went for it in every conceivable
Right.
way. Like
And always.
and I mean, dude, it almost feels like the Genesis ended up outselling the Super Nintendo by like sheer force of will and marketing.
Well, yeah.
still
Like-
didn't actually outsell the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, but
Uh,
the mind share was crazy though.
wasn't the market share?
We looked it up. It
Did we?
did not actually outsell the Super Nintendo.
Okay, all right. It would like the fact that they carved in a near 50% is insanity. Like through marketing, through sheer crazy, unforgettable marketing that you will never forget to
Well,
this
those
day.
back then video games were weird.
Yeah,
You know, the whole concept of video games was a weird concept.
Mhm.
and like
There
you think about it, like
yeah, they weren't like
Sega-
movies are.
they were always doing weird shit, like fucking Toe Jam and Earl. What the fuck am I looking at? Like
Jam and Earl's weird. Vector Man is weird.
Vector Man is weird. It's awesome, but it's weird.
That man's not weird.
It's so weird.
So weird.
He's
It's
balls.
weird.
He spoils Mega Man.
Like there's weird shit like that, and Sega
Comic Zone.
Comic Zone,
So good.
so
It
good.
was a really good game.
Really
So-
good game.
I remember looking at that and I was like,
Vector Man. It's not
I
a
like-
really good game.
there were like 3 games where I would go to my best friend's house at the time and be like, this just, Genesis is whack, but then look at them, I'm like, shit. Like
I want those games.
Yep.
Comic Zone, I'm like, oh, I don't like this.
This is cool. Fuck.
What's the Treasure Zone? The Treasure game.
Gunstar
Oh,
Heroes.
Gunstar Heroes.
Gunstar Heroes is probably the best game on the Genesis.
I remember looking
I
at
said
that. I
it.
was like,
I
I
said
mean,
No.
Shining Force exists.
Shining Force is really good too.
I stand by what I said.
Me
You
too.
know, it's those are all good takes. So I'm not mad at them. I don't agree with them entirely, but I
Wait, which
I
take?
can't argue them.
He's gonna say Streets of Rage. So
No, I'm not gonna say Streets of Rage.
You gonna say Streets of
That's-
Rage 2?
Actually, I really love Shinobi 3 a lot.
It's a good game.
I think that game's incredible.
Yeah.
I think it holds up. I think it holds up very well now when you play. That game feels fucking fantastic to play.
There
That's
are-
actually probably my top 5 Genesis
There
games.
are some fantastic games on the Genesis and Sonic.
So my biggest issue with Shinobi, and which is like kind of my biggest issue with most of the Genesis like action games, like action platformer games, is why does the character take up 72% of the screen? Why is it so zoomed in? Like I get that you're trying to show off the animation and it looks good, but like you can't see shit.
Pull it back a
I
little bit.
really don't like how big those characters are.
I'll be
I need
honest.
to see the screen.
I'm not the biggest fan of Shinobi Revenge of the Ninja Man. Like I'm not a big fan of like Revenge of Shinobi or like whichever or Shadow Dancer. Like I think those games are okay, but Shinobi 3, it's all about the pacing. And I don't necessarily mind the sprite size because the game itself moves very fast. Because like you have a dash, and that you just have a run. You're just running through, and there's a mechanic in the game where when you run and you do the jumping attack, okay, you have a frame of invincibility for that. So it means if an enemy attacks you and you press the button, you just slash right through them and you go right through them and you kill them. And there's all kinds of there's a bunch of little neat shit. Like there's a fucking dive kick in there that you can once you dive kick off of them, you can keep going forward. You'll do the double jump, do the shuriken spread, and keep dashing. Like the pace in that game is incredible. So the zoomed in sprite doesn't really bother me as much. So maybe that's probably why.
It wasn't until I got into my adult age where they have the Sega Genesis collection. It was 54 games and stuff like that, where I actually looked through that catalog and I was like, because prior to that, I was like, I don't understand how people be nostalgic to the Genesis. I know that sounds crazy, but I was a Super Nintendo kid, so I'm like,
yeah,
I think all four of us were.
Yeah,
yeah.
But
going through that catalog, and I'm like, yo, they have some stuff here.
I had friends who had, Tim had a Genesis, and my dad had a Genesis.
Yeah, there were reasons to play the Genesis.
Landstalker was it's a weird game, but that shit is awesome.
I like.
You can't get the same experience going over your friend's place that has the Xbox. You know.
Yeah.
You can't.
I love Space Harrier.
It's fun.
I love all the crazy wacky shit that Genesis put out.
Yeah.
Sega put out.
It was apparent by the time the Dreamcast happened that Sega just did video games.
Sega.
They weren't trying to be. Sorry to interrupt you again, but they don't do very big bombastic productions where they have really big interwoven storylines and everything is crazy and cinematic. No, they just threw colors at your face, man.
You guys like points, right? Let's just points.
Or arcadey shit. There was a lot of arcadey shit.
It's a shame that they just shot themselves in the foot during the 32-bit era.
Well, for all of their good marketing, they did not know how to market.
Pretty much.
They were scared of shit. Jesus Christ! I was fucking reading up on what happened. On what happened to some of the shit with them. And you want to know something? Do you know why 32X exists?
32X is what again? The expansion?
The Genesis upgrade.
Yes.
Okay.
So, because they were nervous about the Jaguar. They were nervous about.
You know what?
Jaguar.
It's easy to say that in retrospect, but
I get it because think about it. The audience that Sega targeted probably would want a Jaguar.
But they were already developing the Saturn. They were already developing a 32-bit system, and then they flooded the market with another one. What are you doing? Why would you do that? That's insane. And Sega America was like, maybe this isn't a good idea. And Sega Japan's like, shut up, just put it out, don't worry about it. And
yay.
They were like, okay.
Sega has never been good with the hardware. The only thing good they did with their hardware, I think, was the VMU. And even then
controller is incredible.
Was that?
A 6-button controller is incredible.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah. It is so good. It's a reason why all the fight pads look like it.
Well, that and the Street Fighter layout.
Yeah.
Yep.
So happy. So good. So good.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the hardware has never been their strong suit. They've always had much better software, and I think think about the collection on the Dreamcast, and if those were just released 15 years later as $20 indie games.
Amazing.
Yeah, right?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Instead of free at your friend's house that could just burn it for you.
I would love to play Armada again.
Oh my gosh.
I love that game.
That game
Theo,
was
you would
fun.
love that game. That game was.
Nobody.
It was a 4-player space shooter, right? Where you would just. It was just like a team up. It was like playing an arcade mode, but it had
4-player arcade space shooter RPG.
Yes, that's what this game was.
You put the right words in there.
I know. Joe knows what he's doing.
So basically, what you're telling him is that it's near with 4 players.
Sure.
I
Not quite.
Yeah, that game. Yeah, that game was amazing. Like
The
Armada
Nier
was so cool.
is a space shooter RPG.
It is.
In fact, as they put out more Niers, they make more excuses to have more space shooting.
More Niers.
But there's like ship
So
upgrades and shit, which
Yeah, it's a fucking
And
really
leveling
fun,
up.
cool game.
I don't know if this.
And they
I don't
never
remember-
put that to anywhere else.
Nope.
No.
Oh, there's Dream. That is
I mean, the whole
to
the
this
whole
day.
Yeah,
left on the Dreamcast.
There's a lot
There's
of
a
there are
lot of
things-
games
A lot of games
that-
that are just locked on the Dreamcast.
dead on the Dreamcast.
Dead on the Dreamcast and the Saturn.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it's like these really awesome strategy RPGs, Dragon Force 1 and 2, locked on the Saturn forever.
Well, there's hope.
Yeah.
I mean, we had stuff like Guardian Heroes, right? Come out.
Guardian Heroes, but it's the 4-player version. It's not even the 6th person.
I've never touched a Dreamcast controller.
Good, you're not
Yeah.
missing anything.
No,
I mean,
the wire comes out the wrong end.
I'm never going to defend it, but I liked it, and it hurt me,
It's-
and I still liked it.
It's probably the second worst controller that I've ever used.
I've used a Jaguar controller, so it's really hard for me to argue anything that says Jaguar controller is good.
Well,
It's
I never
not.
used it, so I wouldn't. Like I
mean,
said, only that I have
the
used.
second worst controller made by a first-party developer.
Publisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to put
Yeah.
Yeah, we used a
Official
lot. Yeah, because we
controller.
used a lot of Mad Cat's garbage back
Oh
in
my
the day.
god! Before
Oh.
I think it was the 360 controller on PC. Oh
Mhm.
god.
It's,
1, 2, 3, 4 buttons.
Yep.
I don't miss that.
Sidewinder.
I had this nice thing from Radio Shack that allowed me to use my PlayStation or PlayStation 2 controller.
Yep.
on
Once
my
I discovered
PC.
that adapter, I was good.
Never had to use bad controllers.
Yeah,
I went
Yeah, I
from
never
Travis
looked, yeah, I never
Pad
looked
to
back. Yeah, I never looked back after I got that adapter. That was
Hey.
one of the greatest purchases I've ever made to this
I
day.
still have it. Yep.
R.I.P.
Somewhere
Radio.
it's-
No, not R.I.P. Radio Shack. I hated Radio Shack. They were the worst.
R.I.P. Comp USA.
Yeah, that PS2 controller adapter, $6 worth every penny.
Mm.
God
Yeah.
damn.
All right, let's see what else is here.
PlayStation controller.
Sure. So, like,
Force the issue, Theo.
for whatever reason of this being important, which it's not because nobody plays home consoles in Japan, the PlayStation is swapping the confirm and cancel buttons functionality in Japan so that X is going to be confirmed universally and circle is going to be canceled universally. Japan had it reversed.
No, they
Well,
did.
technically they had it correct and we have it reversed, but
Yeah.
like it just feels better that way. Now Nintendo will be the only company that
I
is
think
still sticking to
I
that
think I
button.
prefer the Nintendo. I think I prefer the A/circle button as confirm.
I
Can't
am.
stand it.
You know what
I
it
can't
was
stand it.
for me?
Love it.
I just get used to it. I don't
You know
care.
what?
Yeah,
I'm with
I
Theo.
think
I'm with
Jennifer
Theo. I'm with
Soul-
Theo on this.
But you know what's funny? Even though I can't stand it, when I'm playing my Switch, I just know that's the
it's
button.
instinctively it's like okay, yeah, A is confirmed.
Because A is always confirmed on Nintendo.
A is always confirmed.
It's been that way since forever.
That's why I can't wrap my mind around Genshin Impact. When I play it, I'm like, God, B is confirmed. I can't deal with this shit right now, man.
Horrible.
But it's not.
On Genshin Impact?
Yeah, circle button is confirmed.
Isn't circle also
the
attack?
B button.
You said, did
The-
you say circle was also
The
attack?
B button is the circle
Sorry,
button.
sorry, is attack. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't deal with that shit.
It's also confirmed in Genshin.
Yeah, all right. But B is always not confirmed. So it's like, ugh.
Yeah, they say this, so. This is from Eurogamer as the source of it, and this is an historic move. And I'm just like,
Historic move.
can we stop? This is
It is.
literally
There's been
nobody,
there's oh my god, there's so much hyperbole.
But there's-
literally
how much PlayStation-
nobody in Japan plays consoles anymore.
Not
Same.
literally nobody.
Figuratively,
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Are you saying this is
Trey, you
a
finally said it the right way.
you saying this is a worldwide phenomenon?
I'm saying that this is like totally not important.
Okay.
Like
I know what Joe is still coming.
and like I feel like I was forced to present this news, and I'm just like, this has no importance. There's like the UI, the user experience of the console will probably allow you to map the button the way you want to map it.
I just think it's crazy that not crazy that we're the dominant market, but they was like, yeah, X's, yeah, Japan, yeah, get out of here with that shit. You know who's not going to care about this?
Anybody?
You know,
Ooh.
Kojima's gonna be like,
Kojima?
circle button is confirmed on my.
Oh yeah, Kojima's gonna shit on it. Yeah, absolutely. If they're gonna change it, they're gonna change it and not tell them.
Did you imagine a Kojima game published by Sega?
Yes, that sounds like the greatest thing of all time.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Hopefully, it is.
You guys should watch the Binary Domain trailer.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, what was that? What was that random trailer with the people floating in space, and it was like a busted up city, the Capcom one. Was it Capcom?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Capcom.
Capcom. Yeah.
What's Capcom? Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is.
Proganima.
I don't know what this is, but this is Kojima ass shit right
felt
now.
like some Kojima ass shit.
Yeah, it smelled like Kojima. You could smell it through the screen. You're like, yep, definitely Kojima. Except it's not, but that's fine.
Sure, Avengers for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X got delayed, but it doesn't really matter because you can still play it if you own the game already on those systems because they're backwards compatible. So, like, literally, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, there's no news. I'm sorry, guys.
I think that they're because they saw the sales for this wasn't very hot, they're gonna try to rebrand it for the next gen systems.
Maybe.
And
That's
probably
possible.
relaunch it and be like, hey, next gen version of
Plus,
Avengers.
figuratively, nobody is playing this on PC.
No,
I'm
literally.
pretty sure that's literal. Pretty sure that's literal. They still can't figure it. Well, they just released a patch where they addressed a lot of issues. So maybe
No issues or
I don't know how many this time.
991.
But I mean, like, hey, they're still patching it. They're still trying. I didn't hate the game. You know, I believe I was on record saying it earned its 7, and it was fun for what it was. But now that I have something else that has earned its 9 and is free,
Time to shelve the 7.
the 7 has been shelved.
with this news, Kate Bishop is also delayed.
Yeah, and you know, I think there were a few things where it was just like, hey, you know, there's a lot of the COVID stuff going around, and they didn't say it, but like the game was clearly rushed out to market, and you know, they didn't want to obviously throw their publisher under the bus because why would you throw Square Enix under the bus? But you know, you got to read between the lines here. Like the game was shipped in a more or less unready state.
I don't think
like,
anybody's
playable, but
I don't
not.
think anyone is blaming Crystal Dynamics for it.
Yeah,
They know where to point the finger.
Yeah, they know who fucked this up.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, obviously you have your internet rage person here and there that are blaming them for not fixing the issues or whatever, but there are a lot of issues, and they're doing it. They're doing what they can, and I want to see the game succeed because I think that there is a good game there. So
I think the skeleton is amazing. And I think they, with a few patches and a few updates, this could be something really incredible.
It's being likened to Anthem.
That's not good.
That's not
bad.
good. But like, I think that that's like overly harsh because Anthem didn't even know what it was trying to do.
Yeah,
like,
Anthem was a
game
pile of shit.
knows what it's trying to do.
I think I would liken it more to probably, from what I've seen, at least Destiny 1.
Yeah, it's like that's exactly where it's at. It's basically really early Destiny before they figured out what Destiny needed to be. And
Because when Destiny got going, that game was amazing.
Right.
Honestly,
and if you want to,
I'm not sure that this game can get the traction that Destiny got.
That is the issue.
I mean,
I think if enough people drop out, I don't know if they can like resuscitate it.
dude, Destiny stuck through, man. I don't know about that.
We've seen some good comeback stories before. Destiny's one
Destiny,
of them. Yeah.
Destiny was bad, and that player base was low, and it got better, and people came back to
So
it.
the precedent is there. It's happened. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I think it's entirely possible. So
I just-
like.
I'm just
I don't-
thinking that the modern gamer is more cynical than they were back then.
That's yeah.
It wasn't that long ago, though.
10 years
while
ago?
while I
8 years
agree with
ago?
you, Chris, then I agree with you, but I still stand by what I said.
That's fair. I mean, I'm gonna disagree with. I don't know if they're cynical enough to be like, oh, it's the worst thing. I was like,
No, not to that extent. Just not to the extent that they're willing to give Avengers another shot.
After paying money for it when they
Yeah.
could go to a free to play game where they
because everybody now we're all tired of games as a service thing. We're all
Yeah.
tired of it. It wasn't that exhaustive back then when Destiny
Mhm.
was first released.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta come out the
Now
game
people
really
are just
strong.
like, please stop.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna argue because I'm not the biggest fan of games as a service myself, so I'm not gonna defend that shit.
I think it could be really cool.
I'm not saying
If
it's
handled
hopeless.
well.
I'm not saying it's hopeless.
Yeah. We'll see.
I'm just saying there's a lot more resistance now.
Yeah. On that end, I agree with you as well. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll concede that.
I win.
So this is why I don't like agreeing with you ever.
I'm sorry. I couldn't.
And all I want to do is shit on you now.
I couldn't resist. I'm so sorry.
Ugh.
I didn't mean it that way. I don't mean it. I didn't mean that. We can't do a consensus. I should just be happy with that.
Yeah. Instead of like the 22-minute bickering that sometimes happens.
I know, you're right. I won the secondary argument. Oh, shit. I didn't.
Oh my God.
I feel like people like those though.
I to be
Because
honest,
I really don't.
I really
I know
don't.
Dre doesn't.
I hate them.
I feel Dre like crawl into his chair after a while when Joe and I are just kind of screaming at each other.
I hate them. I hate them. I hate when we get like that.
No, I love it. I like arguing, so
I don't like getting into it with you like that.
oh my god. But yeah.
Where
Is there
were
anything
we?
else? Is that it? It's
Nope,
been
that's
a
it.
shit
You
week
want to talk
for us,
about
so.
Monster Hunter?
I
I don't
kind
want
of
to
do.
talk about it.
Can we
I
talk
don't.
about it?
I think
Nope.
that trailer looks awesome.
Awesomely bad.
I don't know why there needs to be a Monster Hunter movie, but apparently this was licensed. This was licensed like 10 years ago.
It looks like Resident Evil 7.
It looks like Resident Evil, like a lot. Like it's Mila Jovovich is apparently cursed to be doing Capcom games as movies.
Well, her husband's the director, so that's how that goes.
That's how it works. Okay.
I
Yeah.
have a really guilty pleasure with the first Resident Evil movie.
Yes,
I
it's
think
a
that-
it's a very good guilty pleasure
Yes.
I mean,
as far as guilty.
I don't know
pleasures go.
why anybody shits on Resident Evil movies because, like, do they see the source material?
Mhm.
What are you doing?
Oh, I know.
Those games
So,
are good.
like, what?
Yeah, but like, there's dumb.
I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about them being good or not. I'm talking
sorry.
about like what is going on in these games.
They're dumb.
Right.
Take a look at this.
The master of unlocking things. Like,
That's right. Like,
come on.
Yeah, but they showed some monsters like Rathalos, and I'm like that. I mean, we solved the CG problem.
Yeah.
Like things are gonna just look good, but
Tony,
I don't know.
Tony Jaa is in this movie.
Tony Jaa.
That is.
I
I
found
can't
that
wait to see that
fascinating.
man flying knee a random dinosaur.
That sounds good to me, man.
You know what? I hope that's in the movie because that
It better
is
be.
gonna make it worth watching.
Why else would you put Tony Jaa in there?
You don't think this movie's going to be entertaining?
Probably.
It's going to be.
But
I
it's
don't
not-
wanna pay
it's
money
not gonna
for it.
be good, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it could be
I'm not
entertaining.
gonna be good.
Look.
It looks entertaining.
So, did we not remember Alien versus Predator? Same guy.
Yep.
He
Same
makes
guy.
guys. I'm not saying he makes good movies. I'm not saying this is going to be.
No,
a good
but that movie wasn't even ironically good,
It was bad.
right? Yeah. And
At
he-
least it's not Uwe Boll.
no, it's not. He did Mortal
There you
Kombat.
go.
He did Mortal Kombat, which I
Uwe
like.
Ball. Uwe
Uh,
Ball is like I have seen Blood Rain, and
Oh my god, he made Blood Rain.
I watched that movie. Christina Loken is
Oh.
the main character, and
That.
the best part about that movie is realizing how drunk Michael Madsen is on set.
Oh yeah.
Because like at one point, like they stab him, and he's like, he just looks at it, and he doesn't act. He just goes and just falls over. It's like he couldn't wait to go get to the grip, holding his fucking rum and coke. Like it's horrible, dude. Like holy shit. That poor woman showed her boobs in that movie.
Okay.
That's your takeaway? Okay.
Christina Loken showed her tits for that movie. That's horrible.
Okay.
Halle Berry got an Oscar.
Okay, you win this one.
Christina Loken showed her boobs
You
in
win
Blood
this
Rain.
argument. You got this.
I don't even know what you're trying to say right now.
I'm just sad, Theo. I'm sad because I watched the shit movie. I watched House of the Dead, the zombies and the Matrix kicking, and it was horrible. It was horrible. You're right, Dre. Uwe Ball is the worst. Paul Anderson makes fucking masterpieces. He's Francis Ford Coppola in comparison.
This is where you fall down.
Holy shit. I mean, look, Mortal Kombat is saved by the cast. Okay? The cast of that movie was the shit. Robin Shaw was great. Lyndon Ashby as Johnny Cage steals that movie.
Oh, yeah, he's the best.
Which is why he's Johnny Cage. Because Johnny Cage steals the show. But, like, and Paul Anderson has made actually one of the better horror movies that I'm a fan of, Event Horizon. And, you know, without Event Horizon, you don't get Dead Space. Dead Space just doesn't exist. With, like, so much of Dead Space's aesthetic comes entirely from that film.
Unlike Uwe Boll, Paul Anderson's contribution to video games is net positive.
Yes. Randomly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because a watchable, loyal to the source material Mortal Kombat movie.
I think it's more than watchable. I think it's actually good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
Enjoy it. All right.
It's loyal to the source material, which is what makes it all right in my book. This Monster Hunter movie does not look at all loyal to the source material.
I saw Dual Blade. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I mean, sure, it's got the stuff in it. There's
I know. The army shit.
Yeah, the fish out of water storyline is done to death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Andre's like, I'm out of this conversation.
Monster Hunter, fuck that.
Ray, you alive? It's okay. Is that your hint?
My hint.
Yeah. I think Dre's falling apart.
No, I'm not falling apart, but it is like 2:30, so
it's like real late. Yeah,
it's kind of time to go.
Yeah,
that works for me.
Yep.
All right, gents.
So Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Reddit, Instagram, all that good stuff. SoundCloud, YouTube, obviously. There's Discord. We should have mentioned that at the beginning. We didn't.
Rip. In the 4205 Cast Discord.
Find us.
You better.
Please put the link in all that description stuff.
It'll be there.
Yes.
Guys.
It'll be there like it was last week.
Yep. And yeah, thanks for watching and thanks for listening. We appreciate you. 4205. Cast off.
Aggressively pointing out.
You send an email. This guy isn't.
Dre's done pointing.